Good morning, StarCraft fans. We are back. This time it's going to be Group B, and that's the matchup everybody wants to see right there. Bisu versus Jaedong. Joining me once again, it is Eonzerg. What's up?
Hello, Nyoken. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here, man. Like you say, this group is going to be insane. Jaedong, Bisu, Hero, Barracks, that is a lower tier compared to the other players, but still in great shape and showing strength this season. I think it's going to be a really good group.
Yeah, I have high hopes for this group, and I do want to point out in one of the graphics that they put up in the intro, it said it's been 4,800 days since Jaedong versus Bisu. So what is that? 14 years. So literally since 2010, we haven't seen a matchup between these two players. So this is going to be very exciting to finally see that
Well,
matchup that we've been waiting
that
for so long.
that stat is in for ASL only, right?
Well, 4,800 days, that would go back all the way to 2010, which would put
No,
it in
but
like OSL and
they,
MSL, not just
they
ASL.
no, but they play on BlizzCon. They play as
Okay,
some.
I guess they mean, yes, the Star Leagues.
They okay, no, probably in ASL because I need to really look back, but I'm pretty sure I have seen these guys playing. They like I'm pretty sure they play in a pro league as well, like how it was called. When they were doing the pro leagues before ASL. Do you remember that? That they made like teams Harayo or something.
Uh, yeah, I do remember that a little bit. Like
I'm pretty sure they
Shirari and stuff
played
like
there.
that. I remember
But
seeing
yeah,
it
it
was
has
on.
to be only for ASL, so whatever. It's all good.
Well, other than that matchup, of course, we've got Hero here. He always does really well in ASL. I think clearly he wants to play versus Bisu simply because it's his highest win rate. He's got like a 70% win rate. Generally when I see Terrans in a group with Zerg, so Barracks here, I would think Barracks would probably want to play versus the Zergs, but I don't think he actually does because from what I remember, doesn't Barracks generally do pretty well versus Protoss? Like last season, he beat Rain. He had really strong gasless timing, so I think he also probably wants to face Bisu here and avoid the Zergs if possible.
In my opinion, Barracks has one of the most fun TPP styles to spectate. He's so aggressive. He's always putting the aggression, always trying different builds. He's not really like playing like super classic like other Terrans. So his TPP is really fun to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, most of the time I'm watching him do like a 5 fact or a 6 fact. I casted a game recently on StarCast where he tried to do like an FD. It got completely murdered, and then he followed up. I mean, he had no other option than to try to continue all in. He built like a marine and some medics and tried to push again. Like he will be aggressive and attack you constantly if he thinks that's the only way he can win. And speaking of players with the killer mindset, that one right there, Jaedong, he's definitely got it. If he ever sees an opening, even the slightest, like if he thinks that, hey, you've got like a gate forge wall and there's 3 openings and he has like even just a 10-second window to flood you with lings, he's gonna go for it. So have high hopes for him also in his games.
Yeah, it's funny because he was actually like after being eliminated in the last ASL, he was talking about he was trying to change his play style and stuff like that. Um, and changes his ways. But then I'm pretty sure it's happened to you as well. Like you trying to change something in your gameplay, but when it comes to the moment, are you playing in a competition or a tournament? For some reason, your muscle memory it just like puts you to use the whole habit.
Yeah.
You always like coming back to that what you're doing like comfortable, like like executing. And I'm pretty sure that's. I mean, he said that it actually is happening to him in those moments.
Yeah, it is really hard to fix things that you've been doing for so long. I mean, I can give an own example that I've been trying to fix for a long time. I've noticed when I watch my own VOD, when I'm like being attacked and I want to get something in a certain location really quickly, I end up clicking like 10 times, like to be like diligent, like, yes, go there. But then my units bounce back and forth and they don't go there for some reason. it's hard to fix bad habits like that. So, I can relate to that. Jaedong though, I will say this, other than fantasy, Jaedong's my favorite player of all time. So I really do hope that he does well, but the past few seasons he's kind of like around a 16-ish type player, right? So even though Cruiser has been saying like, "Hey, this guy's in top shape," he's the old Jaedong of the past. I mean, this is a mega hard group. I think it's going to be really hard, and it would definitely be like a prove it type of group, right? Because if he can make it out of this group, then clearly he's in top shape and could potentially go all the way to the finals.
Um, yeah, but my thing is that being the old Jaedong from the past is not really enough in 2024 because there is more than what Jaedong was in 20 like in 2008 2009. That Jaedong was a beast, yes, but the maps were different, the play styles were different, optimizations were different. Like this set of StarCraft, honestly, is a difficult one that very few people are actually like adapting to that, like a hero like Sulky, um, Mini, Snow. Like even to some extent, Shuttle is doing well in Pro Leagues as well, and it's because they are adapting to this like modern era of StarCraft.
I find it so impressive that the pros of the past are still the pros of today. I mean, you would expect that, right? But like you said, the game's so much different. If you have bad habits that you've developed in the past, I mean, you just talked about it. It's hard to change those habits. So it is impressive that these guys, first off, they're older now and they're still at the top. Like even like we don't really have very many newcomers. I mean, we do have some newcomers, like Zealot and Soma and Sins and people of that nature, but generally what we get like one newcomer a year, like you really don't get very many new players.
Yeah, there are a few like YSC, June. Yeah, we have some good players, but they don't really reach that like good tier level. Honestly, none of
Yeah,
them.
the only one that's reached it is Soma, right? I can't think of anybody
Yeah,
else.
Larva maybe you can say Larva.
And that's true because in the old days, I don't even remember Larva at
He was a
all.
dishwasher at the team house.
Well, he's not a dishwasher anymore. I mean, he's crazy. There was an interview with Flash saying like when Larva is playing at his best, like you just can't beat him. And I mean, not that I mean, I had the same thoughts watching him play. Like he's got like 70 APM or something. His macros crazy, his micro crazes crazy. If you search like Larva versus Bisu probably on YouTube, like any game you click of him versus Bisu, like they're all epic. Some of them go hours long. Like he can play all states of the game. He's really good.
Nyoken, I'm going to be honest with you. I think in 2024, APM is not really important at all, or speed. I feel like the players right now, like the best, are the ones using like timings and below their optimizations are the ones really like shining the most and decision making. I don't really think like we are like in that like 2020, 2018 that speed was important at all, like, especially with the maps. Like the maps change everything so much. Like it's so hard now to break a wall. It's so hard to attack positions. I feel like yeah, StarCraft has changed a lot. And like in the last 2 years, to be honest, I don't think we realized that.
Definitely has changed in that sense. We were talking about optimizations yesterday with JYJ. As a Terran player watching him, I just don't understand how he always has so much stuff. I kind of get the same thoughts when I watch a Zerg like 973, for example, and then it doesn't really work. And I'm like, oh, this guy's dead. And I look at the drone count, it's like 22 or something. And then 2 minutes later, it's 50. And I'm like, wait, what? How did this happen? How did they go from being all in to a million
Yeah.
drones and their even supply now?
Now that I see Bisu, recently, funny enough, Bisu beat Solki in an offline show match or something like that. I don't think it really gained too much attention, but actually Bisu beat Solki. that Solke is right now the best third player. So I'm really hopeful for Bisu here. I think he's in good shape. I think his PVC, I mean, it's always so scary. I have to be honest about Bisu is that for some reason I have this in my brain that always I'm capable of watching like Bisu doing his best. I'm not really thinking about Bisu being like really bad or or doing bad. I just think like what this guy is capable of doing, you know?
I mean, he's one of the best, and he's one of the best, and he's been one of the best of all time. Again, I just since I'm a Terran player, I watch a lot of Flash stuff. Obviously, I remember in another interview with Flash when he was trying to become pro, he wanted to macro like a god, right? And so when you think of big time Terran macro players in the past, you think of I Love OOV. He was like the innovator of the big time macro. But actually, in that interview, Flash said he wanted to macro like Bisu because Bisu literally nailed his macro perfectly all the time. Like never missed a cycle. As soon as units pop out, he's rebuilding units. His micro's crazy with, of course, the DT and the Corsairs. So yeah, Bisu's really good, and he's done well in ASL. In the last few seasons. What did he get? Top? I think he got top 8 last season because I remember him facing off versus Snow. And lots of Jaedong fans out today.
Yeah. I'm Bisu fans as well. I'm probably Hero fans as well. Like Hero is pretty popular these days with the uh, Korean, how they call it, a university, this school, Starcraft schools, whatever.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing the school thing again. I don't know if I don't know exactly if it's the university thing, but I noticed that a lot of the players are repping those school-like tags these days, so I'm guessing it restarted. We're getting a look at the groups. We all know yesterday Sulky and Rush made it out. JYJ and C, they had good games, but in the end, not enough. Today, we've got, as we all know, Hero, Barracks, Jaedong, and Bisu. Group C is going to be Protoss, Death Group, Snow, Speed, Rain, and Mini. It's crazy to think one of those Protoss are going to be eliminated at least. And then in the bottom, it's the Terran Death Squad: Sharp, Stork, Royal, and Light.
Yeah, I have to say Royal been dropping the ball so hard lately. Um, I saw I saw a shock result from him in a tournament he was playing. He lose against a third player. I'm not going. I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, I was super shocked to see who he lose to. So I don't know what happened to Royal, to be honest, man. I don't know what it is. Just like it's not a champion guy anymore. It looks like he lose the confidence. I don't know what it is, or his play style is not working anymore because he's also like a very aggressive player, and people are just like are getting used to him. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, for Royal, I think it's the playstyle. He does a lot of cool stuff, but it's kind of exploitable, in my opinion. So I think that's mostly the reason that he's struggling. I do want to point out, even though the previous graphic has already changed, a lot of the stats in that graphics was saying like Hero 2-0, Hero 3-0, Hero 4-0. So it may be that he's actually just probably the favorite in this group. In the Okay, I see at the top stat it's another hero stat. That's his overall win rate, I think, 55%. He's 15 times in the ASL. This is the second one is Barracks graphic. He's 0-4 versus Hero, 0-1 versus Bisu. Not sure exactly about the third one. That's definitely a Jaedong stat. And then the fourth one is Bisu's win rates. So he's got 56 versus Zerg, 62 versus Terran. So, in the old days, again, may be me just misremembering, but I remember obviously Bisu was a standout in PvZ, and I always thought his Protoss versus Terran was obviously very strong, but I remember him winning most of the time with carriers. I feel like it was his lowest win rate, but 62% win rate versus Terran these days, it's all of a sudden become his best, and that means it's going to be really hard for Barracks to take him down. Like I mentioned, here's the star of the group. it's Hero. He's got a 52% win rate versus Terran, technically his second best matchup.
Man,
And
this guy doesn't lose until like the semis.
yeah, he doesn't. Never. Round of 4 5 times. So he's played in 15 seasons. He makes it into the round of 4 5 out of the 15 times, or at least.
What a beast! Incredible. This is one of the most one of the guy that surprised me the most is Hero. How good, how solid this guy is. It's actually incredible. It's so amazing to watch, honestly.
And we're getting a look at Barracks stats. As I mentioned earlier, I feel like a lot of the times when I see Barracks play and remember his games from ASL, they generally tend to be Terran versus Protoss games. And that's probably why, because his win rate is 50% versus Protoss, his best overall matchup so far. I don't think he's ever made it into the round of 8. I could be wrong, but I feel like he hasn't. So this would be a huge stepping stone for him if he could manage to make it out.
Yeah, I agree. To be fair, his stats are not so bad to be like a new contender in ASLs. They are actually like really decent in my opinion.
Yeah, they're good. If you have a 40% to or higher win rate, I feel like you're doing pretty damn well. I was recently watching like a Federer, the tennis player Federer speech talking about
Yeah,
like, Federer is one of the best tennis players of all time, right? Arguably the best. And I remember he was saying
it's
like,
Djokovic, Nyoken. Stop.
okay, I'm just throwing this out there, but he was saying like he he only won like 53% of his points or something, but that was enough to obviously put him into the god tier of tennis players. So anyways, we're ready with our game. We've got Hero facing off versus Barracks, and of course our first matchup is going to be on Radeon. Unmute the music. Okay, so in the actually okay, bottom right, we do have Hero, and in the top right, we do have Barracks.
Nyoken, since you were quoting Federer, I want to mention that in an interview he said one time that most of his tournaments wins, they actually like he performed and won them by not playing his best. Like the reason he won is because he learned how to play the best even if he was playing like his worst, like getting the best result even in a bad form. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard that before. I can't imagine thinking that you're not in your best shape and still being able to win. We in the bottom right graphic right there. This is the best. Most probably like the highest win rate with the most games, I guess. So Hero was in second place. First place was Sulky with slightly more games. We're looking at the stats from the previous 3 seasons. Season 15 Hero, round of 4, and then I think top 16 for Barracks. So like I said, this is going to be the first time he makes it into the round of 8 if he can get through this group. We've got a wall off for him. Nothing really surprising there, and also nothing surprising for Hero as it's just going to be a 12 hatch.
I mean, that double or is not, it's not a surprise to you because to me it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's slightly different, right? But lately, when I've been playing ladder myself, I see a lot of Zerg players doing this cross scout type of scout.
I do this only by mistake because I get confused with fighting spirit and polypoid that it's a different different way of scouting.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had that same experience also a couple times. I get into the game and I'm like, wow, I still have fighting spirit not vetoed, and then I'm like, oh wait a minute, I'm on polypoid. So we do have this double scout going on from Barracks. Doesn't find Zerg at top left, but will find him in bottom right. And I think this was the typical 2-minute gas, 2-minute pool. Now yesterday you were saying that we don't see a lot of 2.5 hatch builds, and again we're not seeing a 2.5 hatch
Yeah, but look at Barracks, man, so sneaky. I wonder if he's going to send those 2 Marines to the third base.
Well, he might.
Oh,
That
look
drone.
at
That
Hero.
drone.
What Hero is doing is my hacking? I
Yeah.
mean, wow.
Yeah. Why is that there?
He's
Why
looking
did
for the
he do
Marines?
that?
He's looking for a hidden barrack or maybe like Marines? I'm not really sure.
Okay, that's true. Maybe the command center, started before the drone went, or didn't start before the drone went over there. And I think, was it last season? Barracks tried to do a 2 racks in his base. I think he did it twice actually last season. So that definitely would have been, or that's definitely a smart move for Hero to check. Now we've got, I think that was like a 315 gas.
Ooh, almost got out Sterling.
So I think that this is going to be an academy play, not the eBay that we were seeing yesterday. So it's going to be really fast upgrades. Only 1 rack so far. So not going to have a lot of units to pressure with, but of course we'll be able to get the very quick upgrades.
Hero didn't make more Sterlings. He was patient. If it was me, I would be making more Sterlings with that Marine move that Barracks was doing. So props to Hero.
Definitely didn't overreact. Now he just has, I think, 6 or so lings. Okay, that's a nice scout. He sees, the drone timing, and he sees where it's going. It's unlikely that Zerg would take mid-right, for example, or bottom middle, but it's definitely possible. So the fact that he knows now that, hey, it's gone bottom left, he knows where to go if he does actually want to do like a small Marine medic move out. Spire is about halfway done. Academy should be done now. So if he does want to go like with just 1 medic, I guess technically he could, because there's not that many lings. And as the follow-up comes in, we see that it's a 3 racks.
Yeah, this is a different build. I'm not used to this build actually. Did he prepare this for this match?
Well, he must have. I mean, yesterday we saw, can't remember who it was doing the same build every single game, but we'll see what he wants to do with this. He's got his first medic. The Spire's about to finish. If he's gonna go, he's got to go right now. And there we go. What is this? 8 Marines and 2 medics? I don't think this is quick enough. If he had gotten out on the map like 10 seconds faster, maybe he could have done something. But now he's just gonna have to sit here and try and defend versus the Mutalisk.
Yeah, I don't think he can put any pressure.
He built a lot
The
of
thing
medics.
is like he delayed. Oh, but he delayed the engineering bay for this build. So the priority here is to get as many units as possible and probably like put like some kind of like mid-game pressure with the 2 control groups of Marines.
Yeah, pretty fast 3 barracks. And he's also teching really hard. He's got the eBay already done. That's the top building. And then he's also got his factory coming up. So, we were talking about Royal. Has he been figured out? He's not getting the results that he's been looking for these days. And this is kind of, I would say, like a Royal S build. But the one difference here is, instead of it being a 530 factory, it's more like a 545 factory with a 3rd barrack. So he has more production. So he can be out on the map like this, doing some pressure and not really fear, like, if I lose my whole army, if I get counterattacked, I'm gonna die. I think he'll be able to survive a counterattack with his 3 barracks.
This build is really interesting because it's forcing now Ser to chase the bio ball. And on top of that, I really doubt he's going to move from this position he's in. He's going to wait for a new squad to join in and then probably move from there. And it's going to get scary for the CERN. Right now, he's not killing SCVs, not even killing a Marine, by the way, losing mutas. So, yeah, look at this. Oh my god. It's going to be such a hard time to deal with.
He's got, like 1.5 groups. He's taken no Marine losses, like you said. He's taken no SCV losses. Zerg hasn't lost much, but this is what I was talking about, how streamlined Barracks build is. Those starports are basically done, and he still has a lot of stuff. So even if Zerg holds, the follow-up is going to be really hard to hold.
Yeah. Hero still doing mutas, by the way. And I feel like this is like the worst he can do against Valkyries.
Yeah, if this is, I don't think, it is Valkyries. I was going to say, I actually don't think it's going to be Valkyries. But now that I see Barracks doesn't even have his nat gas, it makes sense that it's not science facility. So he's going to have a ridiculously strong Valkyrie push. But if he's going to use the Valkyries, it's got to be with 2. He can't wait for 4. That's going to be way too long. Lurkers are going to be, out in the field at that point. So he's got to immediately go.
Don't defend the supplies. You don't need to defend that. You're going to lose too many Marines.
Yeah, I think a lot of times players get baited to repair the depot, but that's definitely one of them where it's not worth, because as you saw, he lost 3 additional Marines, plus the depot died anyways. Now into the main. Okay, now it's starting to get scary because he's losing a lot of Marines, and the firepower is the combo of the Marine medic with the Valkyrie. So he needs to limit the damage. That's not a patrol shot. He missed micros a little bit.
To be fair, micro and Valkyrie is not easy now.
I know it's not. I got them picked off so many times. That was really good control there, and he still loses it.
Yeah, not ideal to lose the first Valkyrie. Because now with 2 Valkyries he could be pushing, and now I'm not really sure he can do it.
Yeah, this is pretty hard. Okay, there's another one. We still don't... I guess I didn't notice if it's +1 weapon or +1 armor. I'm going to assume it's +1 weapon just because that seems to be the trend for Zergs these days. But if he had +1 armor, he could have just Ling muted this guy and probably overwhelm. I mean, he still might be able to because he's still got a lot of mutilates left over. But if they're not +1 armor, he does need to be a little bit careful as 2 or 3 mutilates die. Those are lurker eggs, and they're not done. There's 5 of them though. But the Muta-Ling, attempted attack at the backside keeps him back just enough to get the lurkers up.
Yeah. Hero defending this, oh man, by a nail, really. It was super close.
Yeah, that was really close. Yeah, imagine, like I said, imagine if he had gone with the first 2 Valkyries instantly and those mutas weren't able to keep the Marines back. Then he probably would have lost his natural at minimum, and we could potentially have seen Barracks getting out.
I don't see any science facility now, Nyoken.
Yeah, he's just building mass Valkyries. This may actually be like a mech switch. If you're going to go Valkyries like this without science facility, you're going to need to have something quickly to deal with the defilers, and obviously you're not going to have a lot of irradiates. So what's one way to do that? Well, just get a ton of mines on the field.
Is that only 2 lurkers? Because the hero is in danger there.
It depends if he knows. Oh, he does know. And then there's no Nidus. It's too early for that. Oh. Does he have armor? If he has... Oh, he's going to actually push through. He kills all the lurkers. Nidus is up, but not completed. Whoa.
Well, there are more lurkers.
Yeah, but... Don't fight that. Don't fight that. He's still doing a lot of damage, and he's got more units coming. Looks like the lurkers are barely going to... Wow, he's got 5 Valkyries, man. He's going to, like, completely supply block hero here, and he's got... Yeah, Marines coming from the top, but there's a random lurker up there that kills the majority of them. He needs to use these Valkyries to get those overlords right there.
I have seen this before. Mass Valkyries killing so many overlords, and Scourge are not able to kill the Valkyries. It's going to be annoying.
Yeah, I've tried to do this myself a few times, but this situation always happens. Is I feel like I have like 5, 6, 7 Valkyries, but the problem with the Valkyries is like once they fire, there's like a massive delay. So he's already gone from 5 down to 2. And Valkyries, even though they don't cost 400 minerals, they cost 250 gas and 250 minerals and 125 gas. So it's basically 400 resources. They're crazy expensive.
Barracks is still trying to kill this suspension. I'm not really sure he's going to accomplish that. He has no Marines. So I don't see a transition either from this. Is he making mass factories right now?
No, he's just got 1 add-on, and with the 1 add-on, it makes me think that this is just going to be tanks. But you can't afford Valkyrie and tanks. Like if anything, it needs to be spider mines. He does have a drop coming. I'm not understanding the purpose of the drop if they're going bottom left, because what's he dropping on?
Because the army is there.
Did he really move all the lurkers? Yeah, the lurkers are still there. Okay, now he's going to hook over towards the right side. I wish his dropship was over at the right originally. Uh-oh, Scourge. Okay, he's going to get the natural.
Yeah, he's exposed. Unlucky for Hero, he just moved the Scourge away, man.
that lurker's dead. If you can get that Nidus, that would be great. Okay, or if he can get every lurker, that would be great also. He's going to get all 3 of them. And the Nidus.
He did.
It's huge damage.
Now that tier base is disconnected, maybe he can punish that.
He's built more Valkyries. He's literally built like 9 Valkyries this game. Look at Hero's supply. It's terrible. 60?
Yeah, he's still in the game, Nyoken, because Barracks doesn't have like a clear transition. Like, he has like 5 Valkyries and like maybe 8 Marines, so he's still in the, you know, in the race. But this is very scary for Hero, honestly.
Yep, there's the second factory. So, I mean, so far he hasn't committed to the mech switch, but with the second factory, you know, it's very rare to see a second fact. But at the same time, Hero's well known to be a Hydra Lurker type of guy, and what better unit to build than, you know, mass tanks. So it may just be double factory or triple factory for mass tank, and still have bio to support. There's a drop at the left side. He's
yeah. Nah, Hero is ready for this. I was on vultures.
Yeah, this is a mech switch. Like I said, you gotta go mech switch if you're gonna build this many Valkyries and not have any vessels. There's no way that you can survive versus a Defiler push unless you get spider mines.
Nice. Oh man, got the snipe again.
I guarantee you that Hero's not going to build those buildings in that spot ever again, as there's just Marines able to range all 3 of them. He could range the evolution chamber, which would be huge if he could get rid of armor upgrades.
Hero is missing a lot of drones this game. I can't tell. Like, that main has like very few, like the minimum, probably like 9 or 8 drones.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been hit with so much stuff. The Valkyries, the drops, now Vultures getting onto the field where he has to worry about potential run-bys. And Barracks, he's got his 3rd base up and running. He's got his 3rd guy. Yeah, all these buildings are in range. That's why I said he's never going to build it here again.
14. Even do great, man.
Yeah. And that command center is going up at top left. So if Barracks didn't, or if Hero didn't know that this was a mech switch, seeing that already Terran's trying to go split map should tip him off. Got it. And he did not complete +1. That is huge.
At least he has like, how many hatcheries? Like 5 hatcheries? So
yeah, that is one thing I did want to point out, is that even though Hero has taken a lot of damage, because he has 5 hatch and because he's, you know, got his 3 bases still, you remember he was at 60 supply to like 110 a minute ago. He's already closed that gap slightly, so he does have the capability to, you know, ramp up his supply really quickly. But Barracks' econ is bananas. He's got top middle coming. He's still got the Valkyries left over. He's got like legitimately 10 factories right now. I still haven't seen a tank though, so he is still vulnerable kind of to like a Ling Lurker Defiler push at this exact moment. But with these drops, he's able to keep Zerg back.
He defended that super well. Man, this game reminds me a lot how Flash started to play bio into mech with mass Valkyries and mass tanks and mass mines. No vessels at all.
Yeah, this looks like a Flash type of build or a Light type of build. I remember Light experimenting with stuff like this. Wow, that's a lot of hatcheries, man. So if Hero can somehow stabilize the game, he's going to have insane production. And this is kind of what I was talking about. This small Ling Lurker attack will deny top left because there's been 0 vessels, by the way, still. There are still none at 17 minutes into the game.
I'm sorry to break it for you, Nyoken, but I don't agree with you at all, because the minute is 17 and Hero been using the main and the natural for a long time. So that means that now taking a 4 expansion at 17 minutes, actually that is pretty delayed. He's not going to have that many resources.
Okay, well, we'll see if he's able to keep up with with Barracks then, I mean, for now, he's not able to because it's 180 to 110. Terran has a huge amount of units now, and oh my gosh, those mine connections. Getting rid of basically every single Zergling. But the question for me is still, how does he get past Dark Swarm? Okay, there, he finally has a couple of vessels, but bottom or top left has been delayed considerably.
That was a good counterplay, but Barracks now putting so much pressure. Look at this, that the fire instantly dying.
Yeah, he's gonna at least kill the Nidus and a handful of Defilers here. He gets into the 4th base, and now he has free reign over this drone line. He just doesn't even care.
No, but the thing is, like, he doesn't even need to kill a hero with this. Like, just by doing this, he's gaining so much because of, like, the eco. It's just so bad for hero.
He goes pretty down in the dumps, and he just lost like 12 more drones. Like, even though top left is being denied by just 2 lurkers or 2 lings, I guess, it doesn't matter because of all the eco damage that he's doing. And even though he can't get past the Dark Swarm, he's just putting so much pressure onto Hero. Hero can't do anything. And now Barracks is out on the map with another attack. This time it looks like it's going bottom right. There's no more Defiler, there's no more Nidus, so this base is dead.
Yeah, I think that is going to be so hard now. How do you even like how do you defend these big armies in 2 fronts?
Don't. I guess you can go Mutas.
Oh, Mutas?
Well, remember, there's still 3 Valkyries somewhere out on the map. So, yeah, right there. 4 Valkyries, even.
Oh, maybe this Sterling contra... No, never mind. There is a bunker, and 1 SCV Nyoken. How fair is that?
Their bunker is pretty good. Well, these Mutas did actually push all the tanks back, and the Valkyries are not here. Okay, now they are. Good to radiate. But, yeah, these Valkyries are going to shred all these Mutas.
Funny how I thought like, oh, Muta switch is such a good idea. Then I see the Vikings and the vessels and it's like, well, maybe no.
Yeah. Well, 1 Lurker's going to try and save the day, but we know that that's just not going to happen. He's going to blow up this hatchery at least. He's still doing those Vulture run-bys, getting some damage onto the drones.
Looking really bad, man.
Okay, there we go. Good damage up top. He's going to get rid of a lot of SCVs.
Yeah, but most of the supply for heroes right now are Mutas. And the moment these Valkyries engage with the Mutas, they are gone.
Yeah, that's true. He's just waiting for the moment where they're a little bit too clumped up so he can go and kill them. But the Mutas now have swooped around top left, and all of a sudden, yes, I realize Barracks is still at 170 supply, but Barracks just lost a ton of SCVs. He's also essentially only mining at mid-right because his main natural's mined out. But the real issue is that these tanks are going to kill this hatchery in a second. And then what do you do?
Well, he still has the main.
Oh, here it goes. It's Mass Muta. Mass Mutas, they have to win the game here. Oh, he got rid of, he's gonna clear this out! Where are the vessels? Yeah, there's the Goliath and the vessels. I'm like, there's no way this is all the anti-air he has.
Yeah. What are the grades for the Mutas, by the way? Oh, 1-1. That was the game plan, Nyoken.
Yeah, I guess he saw how many Valkyries were being built and figured, well, I gotta at least get 1 armor. And that came in clutch there because the Valkyries do way less damage versus +1 armor of Mutas. He's gonna win. He's gonna win with this Muta battle. There's not enough Goliaths.
There are 2, 3, and 3. So.
Oh, never mind. I didn't realize they were 3-2. I thought they were maybe like 1-1. So I take that back. Those Mutas did not win that battle for sure.
Man, what an interesting build from Barracks.
Yeah, he did a really good job with, keeping Zerg back.
He radiated tank.
Yeah, that was obviously a misclick. Yeah, the whole thing is you gotta keep Zerg back when you do this type of play because the Defiler push is so hard to deal with when you don't have any vessels at all. But because he kept doing those drops, because he kept killing Overlords, Zerg never got that. and that allowed
GG.
him to get into just massive econ. And who, Hero, who was probably the favorite of the group, all of a sudden he's in the losers match.
That was a really nice build. Like that 3 barracks, putting so much pressure. Like Hero was like not able to attack that Terra main at all for a long time. Until it was just too late. Like starports, they were ready.
It was really well done from Barracks. I've myself have experimented with stuff like that. It's really hard to make work, simply because the Valkyries are so expensive. Like if you lose a couple of them, it feels so bad to rebuild even just one or two. Like I think he built 9 Valkyries this game. That was just an insane amount, and he did get good value. But seeing them die, like uh, I'm sure we're gonna see a couple here die, but this was really like the moment that broke the game out, where bottom left gets breached, the Nidus gets taken down. Even though he ends up holding it, he has to commit so much here.
Yeah. It was
He
a
was
bit
just
unlucky
killing it.
for Hero that he didn't have 4 lurkers ready as well.
Yeah,
Like when Barracks went attack, there were only 2 lurkers borrowed.
yeah. He just needed one more, and this would have never happened. And we saw the Valkyries just shred all the Mutalisks and the Scourge. And at this point, when Zerg's at 50 supply and Terran's thinking about taking a third base, Terran's in an amazing position. So Barracks, he's going to be in the winner's match. And, I think he's got a good shot versus the other two players, especially if he can take down Hero. So we should be going into a break, and then we'll be back with Jaedong versus Bisu. Right, we are back, and we've got a battle of two legends coming up. We've got Jaedong facing off versus Bisu, and once again, it should be on Radeon. We're looking at the stats for Jaedong: 57% win rate versus Protoss, so his best matchup so far, or for now.
Um, It's funny. I always thought like Jaedong best matchup will be always CBC.
And it's his worst matchup, and it's like way down at 39% compared to, the 75% of the olden days. And we're looking at Bisu stats as expected. His versus Zerg is impeccable, 56% win rate. Really doesn't have that many gains versus Protoss. I find that surprising.
Man, Bisu PBT record could be so much better if he never played Flash.
Yeah, I think a lot of Protoss players think that way.
But then we say, oh, Bisu can PBT. It's like, no, he can PB Flash.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the reason why I always just didn't remember his PVT games, is because it was just Flash gatekeeping that matchup, or Fantasy potentially gatekeeping the matchup. For a second, I thought that was light right there, but that's definitely
Me
not light.
too. Me too.
Oh, DeWalt fan right there.
Is that Casper?
I don't think that's Casper. I mean, you met him. I didn't. It didn't look like Casper to me.
He looks super similar to Casper.
Okay. Maybe it is. Maybe he is there.
Oh my god.
Well, a lot of Jaedong fans and Bisu fans in the crowd, as expected. A lot of foreigners in the crowd also. Another one right there. No Team Liquid signs today, though.
Mm. In Liquid. I can't believe like I've been like visiting like that website for so many years. Like
Yeah.
2008 I've been like active on that website. 2009 or something like that. Many years.
It's been a while, man. I think I registered in like 2001, and I have like 50.
Oh my god, it's been that long?
Yeah. You didn't know that Team Liquid was that old?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was something like 2006 or something.
No. Did you know? You know who Nazgul is, right? You know Nazgul used to be a pro,
Yeah.
and he's the leader of Team Liquid. So he had it existing back when he was a pro.
Oh, that's how it started.
Yeah, that's how it started, man. So it's legitimately like almost 25 years old. So we do have Bisu in the top right and Jaedong in the bottom left. So this time cross spawns.
That doesn't make any sense. How old is Nazgul? Like 50?
He's one of the original pros, so I would say he's probably around like Artosis age. I don't know exactly. Maybe like low 40s, something like that.
Okay. Well, Nyoken, Radeon, I don't like this map for CVP at all, man. It's actually so hard to defend 4 expansions on this map. So my hope is that Jaedong just crush Bisus on 3 bases, like insane timing, and we finish and we done with this, and then he beat Barracks 2-0, and we celebrating.
You heard it here first. We just want Jaedong to end this guy quickly, so he can go in, so he can go crush Barracks quickly. Now we do have a Barracks.
I just speedrun Jaedong run.
Yeah, so we do have a gateway opener here, and Jaedong, it's going to be 11 hatch for him.
Oh, that's a good choice, especially cross spawns. I can see this like being really good for him.
Well, you would know, right? This should be a good spawn for Jaedong, I imagine. I mean,
Yeah,
I would
because
want
there
to
is
be
no
away.
way that Silot gets in time to punish the drones. So it's a great opening for Jaedong Ayuk.
Well, if Bisu scouts this fast enough, maybe he only builds 1 zealot and builds an instant nexus instead of building, like 2 or 3 zealots. We'll see what he wants to opt for. So far, we haven't even seen the first zealot pop out. We've got the drone interception, and Bisu will continue down there.
Maybe he can fake like a cannon rush.
I've seen that, but is it maybe too late for that? Wouldn't Wouldn't the pool be too far
No,
along?
yeah, just a fake. But I don't know.
Well, it does look like it was one zealot into the Nexus. I don't think
What
he
is
has
Jaedong going to
killed.
spend?
Well, it's got to be mid-left, right? Even I know that bottom middle is hard to hold. Yeah, there we go. Okay, he's got 2 drones over here, so he should be able to
Pylon?
get this up.
Mega pylon?
Didn't we see this yesterday? No, not yesterday. Maybe I was watching another game, a StarCast game, where the probe delayed
Yeah,
this.
no, okay. I didn't see any Protoss yesterday, if you
Yeah.
ask me, but
Yeah, I saw a lot of tanks and dropships yesterday. Well, we do have the first zealot just being annoying over here. Oh, actually, a second one already got across the map, so I misread that situation completely. 2 zealots definitely have enough DPS to knock down the hatch. That's a good surround right there. Good stutter step micro. Really good micro from Bisu to limit the damage, but he's still gonna lose everything.
that was kind of like a decent trade for Bisu.
Yeah, it really looked like after the initial surround, he wasn't really going to get any value at all, but he ends up getting rid of 4 out of the 8. So that seemed to go about as well as it possibly could have gone. At his natural, okay, that's what I was wondering. What is that building? It's a cybernetics. So no forge just yet. He's going to be really streamlining into his tech. But if Jaedong sniffs out like, hey, this guy's going for no cannons, it could get dangerous. I actually think he might have the forge in his main. I see a building near his assimilator.
Yeah, Protoss players are doing that now, so if like Ser is doing like Hydra Blast, they don't lose the +1 attack.
Yeah, +1 is just so important that if you lose it, it's kind of like just really hard to come back from, whether it's +1 weapon or armor. I mean, both of those are huge. Still no +1 though. He's instead gone straight into Stargate, which means he's probably going to go straight into air upgrades also.
Yeah, I don't see Bisu making any cannon either, so he's doing that. He's doing a good job right now managing his eco.
The Spire, right? Yeah, I see the Spire went down in Jaedong's main at the corner of his base. Probe pops in, doesn't really get in far enough to actually see the drone count, but I guess he probably suspects that, hey, this guy isn't, all-inning me because 1, speed wasn't done, and he doesn't see an overwhelming amount of links.
And now SP is done. I really hope Bisu has some cannon and blocking that wall, because this is dangerous.
Well, look at what Bisu did. He sent out 4, but he only sent 3 back, so there's 1 zealot hidden out onto the map. So if these lings are ever out of position, well, guess that's not going to happen because the zealot just gets immediately intercepted and will die very quickly. So that potential attack, hidden attack, is not going to come to fruition.
Yeah, good play by Jaedong, and it's really on top of his game today. Let's say he made a good amount of Zerlings.
Yeah, this seems like enough to hold attacks and not kill your econ. Feels like the perfect response to me. He sees the cybernetic spinning. He sees the first Corsair. Scourge should be popping, right? Yeah, they're about to pop in a second. And okay, well,
Ooh,
it is 5 hatch and not 6. What do you think about that?
Can you repeat?
There's only 5 hatcheries compared to 6.
No, because he made fast Hydra then. He's going Hydras.
So is he all-inning this?
It's not like all in, but it's like a probably early pressure.
Okay. Well, do you like this? Because, it's not a forge at the entrance anymore. Like, he's not picking off upgrades. Like, at best, he's going to kill a gateway and a cybernetics.
I just feel like he probably needed the Hydras to deal with the Corsairs as well. Maybe he's not so confident to go Muta Scourge against Bisu.
Okay, that could be it. There's the first Hydra. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of Hydras. It's, like you said, it's not all in. He's got a lot of drones, but, it's not, a ton of drums. But we've got Bisu building up his cannons now. Second one coming in. He's also got the second gate on the low ground, so when his Templars do pop out, if he needs to instamorph on Archon, he can do so. There's the Templar Archive.
Okay, here's the deal. If now Jaedong clean these silos easily, Bisu is going to be in so much trouble. So I really hope like the decision making here for Bisu is good. Because Jaedong is making many units. He's making only units right now. Look at the drone. 8 at the natural, 8 at the tier, probably like 9 or at the main. So it's not many drones. It's going to be full aggression. Look at this. Oh my god, it's going to do a 7 counterattack. How many cannons there are? Nyoken, like 2 cannons?
Yeah, there's only 2. Okay, well, there's a Ling here. I mean, a Zealot. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier, where if Jaedong thinks there's a moment to attack, he will just go for it, but that was definitely not it. Now, Bisu may be baited into this attack, thinking like, oh, you lost a lot of your Lings, so now I can actually go in, but he cannot. There are a ton of Hydras here waiting. There's even more on the right side as he gets intercepted there, too.
You need to make more cannons, you need high Templars, and he can lose the silos. That said, there is now a potential for the set player to contain Bisu. Jaedong already making 6 hatcheries, so it's not all in, it's just pressure.
Well, there's a DT about to be at the third base, and if Jaedong's not paying attention, this entire mineral line could get wiped out. There's no anti-air because he sent all the Hydras across the map. Oh, he knows that the DT was coming, so he's at least aware of it, but I don't think he can break this, and the DT is still racking up a lot of kills. Okay, he got like 4 Overlord kills, something like that? Or 4 drone kills, I mean?
Yeah, he got like 3 or 4. The deal here is that Jaedong been supply blocked for a long time.
Yeah, the Corsairs did a lot of work, and Bisu had perfect cannon timing. He's got 5 cannons. He's got his double. He's got 2 Templars sitting there waiting for Storm. Now Jaedong's going into the 6th hatch, but at the same time, now Bisu's ramping up his gateway count, going upwards of 8 or so.
A bit too late in my opinion, but yeah. Bisu at least survived that stage of the game. In a good position, he did eco damage as well. And now, I don't know what is the decision going to be, if taking a tier or going straight to Dragoons. I wonder if he made a second forge as well to double upgrade. Very curious.
Yeah, I think he's going to go into a lot of goons. This feels... It's 9 gate. If you're going to build this many gateways, I feel like you're intending to attack. So I think the fact that he's kept a lot of his Zealots alive, the fact that he's kept, all of his Templars alive, he can use all of his gas now to just build a ton of Dragoons and then, use his 3 or 4 Templars to double or triple Storm. But he definitely doesn't want to lose these Zealots.
Yeah, by the way, Jaedong is saving gas oh, never mind. He's making Lurkers. I thought he would make Mutas. He will do a Muta switch. But he's going... That worries me a bit, because I don't think... He makes his 4 expansion so late. I thought for sure he will do a Muta snipe and go from there, but he's doing Lurkers and probably playing defensive from this position. I'm not really sure he's going to be able to hold.
I don't know, because Preuss always shoots up in supply so fast once the Dragoons start coming out. Bisu finds an opening here with the Corsairs as he pops 1 Overlord, not a second one.
Yeah, the thing is, like, for setting up 4 bases on this map, you need to cover so much space that it's just going to be like... You're going to get destroyed by the Protoss army.
Oh, he found the Zealots. This is free kills. That's a lot of Zealots to lose also. This is what, 12 Zealots? I don't even know why they're there. The Corsair saw the hatchery was at bottom middle, so it's not like he was taking bottom right. But this is just 3 kills.
Okay, there are just minions. Like, Protoss Eco is like playing fastest. No one cares about silos.
Okay. Well, Jaedong, he's probably going to get his 4th base up and running for free now that there's no buffer room or buffer units for the Dragoons, and instead Bisu's now just going to go expand behind this.
I do grades for Protoss. +2 armor or +1 armor?
I think he's 1-1. I don't think he has had the time to get +2 armor, but maybe within like the next minute. That is so many overlords right there. If he could just catch them when the Hydras are not with them, he could mow down a lot of supply. Look at it though, it's 139 to 128, so Jaedong really crushing his macro.
Yeah. Still +1 attack. I'm not really sure I like this.
Yeah, that seemed ambitious, kind of like this one also. Goes in on the cannons, but he uses that as a diversion to get on top of the Templars, but instead ends up bleeding off a lot of Hydralisks for that.
Over aggressive in my opinion, but I don't know if he's making a mistake. Honestly, it's good to try because otherwise he will be like defending close to his base, I guess. So yeah, it's a nice try. I'm not sure why he's attacking like this.
I don't understand. I mean, this is a tiny bridge. It's Storm. There's mass goons. Like, you haven't killed any Dragoons. This feels like you're never gonna have an effective trade. Like, that's the first Dragoon to actually fall. And he's now gone from, you know, almost even supply to now down over 40 supply. And it's not like Jaedong is all in and has to win the game. He's got his 4th base. Like, he's fine. He could just sit here and, you know, power up. Now, that was some good sniping as he takes down 2 Templars.
That is only 2 lurkers. Like, if Bisu uses his whole army, I'm pretty sure he's breaking that.
I think Bisu's just unaware. Okay, I guess he now realizes, like, hey, this guy's been way too aggressive, and now here he comes. And he's going to steamroll this. Maybe +2 armor? Yeah, +2 armor just kicked in for him. So the goons are so strong.
Oh, he's not using the Silos.
And now how do you stop this army? I don't think you can stop it now. The critical mass has been reached for Protoss. Even though there's not that many storms available, you're just never killing the Dragoons. It's just not happening.
Yeah, man, it's the power of +2 armor.
Jaedong was just way too aggro, and now that may have cost him the game as Protoss is on full-on attack mode. Bottom middle is 100% going to die. The question is can Jaedong salvage the game and not just, you know, get blown out of the water?
But I mean, how do you like? How do you come back like with 3 bases? GG.
Yeah, the answer is you don't. So what looked like a good position for Jaedong, you know, didn't necessarily mean that he was going to win, but still in a good position. All of a sudden, those like small attacks really bit him in the butt, and Bisu manages to take him down.
I really wonder if him killing that many Zealots like triggered him to think like he could actually break that tier base with like multi-prong attacks.
What was that?
Do you remember early on that the Bisu lose many Zealots?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if like in Jaedong's mind, it just triggered him to being aggressive because like Bisu was lacking units. So he just like attacked the tier expansion and attacked like the national like the as well at the same time. But it just like he just lose too much.
I mean, that definitely could have been the case, because remember, right before this happened, we saw 12 Zealots die at bottom right. So he may have been thinking that he had an opportunity to make something happen, but he just really never did, simply because he didn't kill any Dragoons. You know, it would be different if he killed 12 Dragoons instead of 12 Zealots, but to kill just Zealots. And also, I don't understand this. Like, a storm hits the entire bridge, right? Like, he hits 3 lurkers here with a single storm right there. Why attack there out of all places?
I have no idea. It just like in my opinion, it's because he just like he didn't really expect that many units.
Yeah, maybe he thought Bisu had cut more than he did. But we can see that Bisu actually has a really good probe count, 52 on 3 bases.
The other option, Nyoken, is that he actually expected to kill Bisu with the first attack, and he didn't really prepare for a macro game on this map.
I mean, that could also be the case, but you can see +2 armor kicks in, it's go time, and now that he's bled off all those lurkers, you mentioned it, he only had 2 of them. Now there's no lurkers at all. Bisu did a really good job to keep the Zealots back so they wouldn't have died anyways. That's MC, by the way. And Bisu just gets an easy win. So that does set us up for Barracks versus Bisu, and coming into today, I thought, okay, what's the pathway for Barracks making it out of the group? He looked really strong versus Zerg. I will say that, but I really do think his TVP is probably his best. So I think there's actually a really good chance that Barracks can win, but at the same time, Bisu's best matchup these days is also PVT.
Well, Nyoken, I know you're a Terran player and you're rooting for a Terran player. It's weird. I'm rooting for a Protoss, honestly, but I like Bisu so much. So I really doubt Bisu lose against Barracks, Nyoken. I'm sorry to break it to you again, but Bisu is too good.
Well, that's what Rain was saying last season, and Rain got blasted by Barracks. So,
Yeah, but Rain was playing League of Legends, Nyoken. Bisu is a
oh,
maniac. Bisu is playing the game 24/7.
okay. So you don't think Barracks can do it? You've got Bisu out in first place, and yesterday you were saying you got Bisu out. We still need Hero out though. We were both saying Hero's going to make it out.
Uh, yeah. It's surprising that Hero is in the loser match, to be honest. Oh my god, we are going to see Hero against Jaedong now in the loser match. I didn't realize that, Nyoken. Oh my god.
Yeah, the pathway to victory for Hero now is pretty rough. You got to go through Jaedong first, and then either Bisu or Barracks, where Barracks has already beaten you. Same thing for Jaedong. ZVZ's his worst matchup these days. It's going to be really hard coming through the bottom side.
Yeah, man. By the way, whoever lose now in the winner match is going to be waiting for a monster. I mean, Barrack is going to be waiting for Hero or Jaedong. So I honestly kind of feel sorry for him.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what happens in ASL when you're in the round of 16. There's no easy groups. Like, there's at least 3 killers in all your groups every single season. There was a forum post on Reddit like asking what's the group of death in the round of 16, and actually there weren't really many comments in it, and I think it's simply because it's hard to say because they're all so strong.
In my opinion, it's Mini, Rain, Snow, and who was the other player?
Any rain, snow, and there's a Terran.
Royal. It's Royal.
Royal.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the group of them. At least to me.
I was thinking the same thing because Rain, even though I think he's not in his best shape versus Zerg and Terran, like his overall stats versus Protoss historically is like almost 90%, which is crazy. Then you have Snow, who like used to never lose versus Terran, but he seems to be losing a decent amount of time. And in fact, I think Royal beat him 6-3 recently. And then Royal, of course, he can do all types of builds. He's got good micro, he's got good macro. Maps like Minstrel, I think, are maps that, suit his style. And then who's the last one? And then Mini, of course. Mini's just a maniac in all the matchups and always does well in ASL.
Oh, do you know that Mini switched to widescreen?
Did he?
Yeah. No more tiny screens on on ASL, I guess.
Well, that will be a big change for him. I know some players do that, and they've been doing it for years. Like Bisu, I remember them sharing his screen at BlizzCon where he was literally playing in windowed mode and only using like a third of the screen. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Do you use full screen?
Yeah, widescreen. I use widescreen. You know,
I'm
Sonny Jaedong as at the start of remaster, he actually started using widescreen as well, but then he switched to 4:3.
hmm. Yeah, I've always been 4:3. I tried out widescreen. Like I got to a point like maybe like last year I felt like I was playing pretty good, like everything felt comfortable. So I switched to widescreen and it actually felt okay. But then I took a break and I came back um and just initially started playing from widescreen and I couldn't play at all. I just like couldn't click. Everything was off. So I just went back to 4:3. I couldn't deal with widescreen.
I just started to play different games and I got used to it.
Yeah. I mean everything's widescreen these days, but I just can't do it. in Brood War. What looks like we're going to be going into a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, we are back after that entertaining guessing of the words between Mini and Jaedong, and now we're going to be going into Barracks and Bisu. As we stated, Barracks played really well versus Hero. It's actually surprising how well he played versus him, and looking like he's on fire, but he's got a tough opponent here in Bisu.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be really hard to beat Bisu. But to be fair, I'm not really surprised with the Barracks level. I feel like he's playing really good recently, and it's kind of like a new resurgence from him from past seasons. So yeah, I was saying before that yeah, it's going to be easy for Bisu, but I don't think it's true. It's going to be a really hard match, especially with these maps. There are really good Terra maps in this map for Nyoken. I'm sorry to repeat that again. So I can see like Barracks putting a lot of pressure into Bisu.
I want to see what the vetoes are because, as I've stated before, I don't like Monty Hall. And we've got a
Oh my
double
god.
Monty Hall ban. And we do have Kickback first, Deja Vu, and Dominator. I don't know what you think about Kickback, but, well, I guess I'll get into that in a second as we get into game one. So in the top right in the red, we do have Barracks, and in the bottom left, we do have Bisu. So what I was going to say about Kickback is, I actually think this map is really good for Barracks in particular, because one of the downsides of Kickback is, of course, those expansions, they have lower resources, like the mineral fields I think are 1200, right? So you do get 3 bases immediately, but they mine out really quickly. So you're like super powerful pre 20 minutes. But after that, you need to take a 4th base and a 5th base. Like you need to double expand. You can't just take one because then you're on one base with, like 8 or 9 factories. And that's just not enough money. And Barracks is someone that does a lot of timings. So I feel like any map where he can just get a ton of resources and hit his timing is going to be really, really good for him.
Yeah. The thing is, I agree with that, and I think this is a great Terra map. The problem here is that this cross spawns.
Yeah, cross
So
spawn.
that any timing he wants to hit, it's going to be rather difficult to hit.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll do like some type of harassment type of stuff, like with dropships to try and keep Bisu's army in check, and then or econ in check, and then go for a big push across the map. But yeah, it is going to be hard. We do have, this was an 11 gas, okay, so interesting. He's definitely trying to punish like a Nexus first build, but Bisu's actually gone for Gateway here.
Yeah, to be fair, I was expecting like 11 Nexus from Bisu.
Yeah, I was also expecting 11 Nexus, but I think even though I haven't watched a lot of pro games, I have a feeling there must be a lot of volatility in that. Pros at high level will just BBS you, or they will just double proxy gate you. And maybe Bisu doesn't want to risk just giving away an easy win, so he's just going to play it safe here. Both players intercept their workers, but Barracks immediately goes bottom left, and Bisu, okay, now he's not going to go bottom left. He's going to go cross spawn through the center.
Did Barracks we missed that timing?
I'm not sure exactly the reason for going bottom right, or for top left. I thought he saw the probe come from the left side, but maybe I'm wrong. Either way, I mean, it's not the biggest of deals because we know that Bisu's not doing anything crazy. But Barracks is probably going to have to, go instant spider mines instead of like, fast command center or, fast starport or something. And he'll need to get mines out onto the field to make sure that, hey, I don't run into fast DT. Or maybe not, because the SCV got here faster than I thought.
And interesting, Dragoon is already out. And Barracks, did he have a bunker or anything like that? No.
No.
Interesting, 2 factories.
Okay, so I think people are pretty aware that I'm not a fan of 2 factory. I do want to say that I have almost never seen somebody go 2 factory with a 1 vulture before the add-on, so this is new to me. But because he's shown the vulture and he's shown that he has 3 marines, this may also catch Bisu off guard. Okay, but he needs to kill the zealot. The zealot is so strong here. Okay, that's really good. That's a really good micro, and the zealot and the pro both didn't get in, so he has no idea. And this really does look like you're expanding. I mean, this doesn't look like a 2-fact, that's for sure.
That's really unfortunate he didn't scout that.
Well, now he sees 5 marines. Now I wonder what he's thinking. And there's no bunker. That's the curious thing. Like, it's different if you see 5 marines, but you see the SCV building a bunker, but Barracks isn't even building a bunker. So he's obviously fine with the goons having range and outranging his marines, which makes me, if I was Protoss, would make me worried.
I feel like he knows. He has to know now.
Well, you would think he would know, but so far, okay, I think he rushed his robo. So range may be late, and if this is 3 tanks, this could be really hard to stop, especially with, you know, rallied speed vultures. I don't even think he necessarily needs mines, just 3 tanks with rallied units and just send it.
He probably needs a Reaver, not 7, right?
Yeah, he definitely needs a Reaver with this. Observer's good, but it's good if he had like 3 gate. The fact that he only has 2, wow, this is a really strong push. Like, this is gonna get there at like 550. By the time he gets there, there's only gonna be 6 goons maximum, which is a lot, but that's if Bisu built them immediately.
I think Bisu is in a lot of troubles here. That's a lot of units, man. He's even bringing SCVs. There are no silos to tank, nothing.
Yeah, and also what makes this even harder is there's this pylon wall. If he got siege mode, he can just siege the gateways from behind the, you know, from the other side of the pylon wall. And I think Protoss would just die at that point. Yeah, this is a ton of stuff. Now he retreats, but like I said, he's retreating back behind the pylons. And if there's siege, the game's... I don't see how Protoss holds. He'll lose everything. But it looks like he didn't go range, didn't go siege. He went speed and mines. But actually, I think now Bisu is likely to hold this because he's gonna have 8 goons pretty soon with the observer. Oh, he does have siege, but he's lost all of his supporting units. No. Oh, and the drag.
Wow.
Oh, Spider-Man, can it connect? Oh my gosh, that's a huge splash damage. Oh,
this is game. This is game.
Yeah, it's over. He's gonna kill both goons, or kill that last remaining goon. He's into the mineral line. And the tank does not die, not just yet. Zealot, oh, Spider-Man! Oh, okay, that's a clutch catch on that one tank at the top. Vultures are doing work onto the probes, that's for sure, but Bisu has technically held for now. Oh, he lost his zealot. Oh my gosh. Oh, he just GG's. Wow. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting to see a 2-fact. If I was in a 2-fact as Barracks, I would have pulled it out on a different map because of what I stated earlier. I really think Kickback is a well-designed map for someone like Barracks to show his power with his timings and his pushings, but he just completely blindsided Bisu, and it was a smart tactic because from Bisu's point of view, it really does look like it's 3 Marine Vulture just going to expand, but it definitely was not.
Yeah, the thing is like Bisu focus on killing the Marines with the Dragoon and the Zealot instead of like sending the Zealot to a scout. Like if he scout that, we will be looking at a different game right now. That is so insane.
This was really well done from Barracks, and now he is 1 game away from making it out in first place. And I'll say this, Deja Vu, I think, is one of the better maps for Terran. And then Dominator, even though historically I think Gladiator was a really tough map in general for PvT, I think Dominator's a little bit better, and I think he also has a good shot there. So we may actually see a massive upset here if Barracks can pull a win out.
And Nyoken, is there like any map that you actually think is not good for Terran?
Well, I didn't think Monty Hall was good, but Terrans have been playing really well there. I still think Minstrel is tough, unless you're Royal. I think if you're Royal, Minstrel's really good, but in general, Terrans don't have bad maps except for that one season. What was it, Third World? That map, I think everybody can agree, was difficult for all the races. You remember that map?
Yeah, the map that is split in
Yeah,
half or something like that.
yeah. That was a crazy concept map, and Flash still almost won. That's the insane thing. So in the top left, we do have Barracks, and we've got Bisu in the bottom right. So cross spawn again. You know, I would really love it if Barracks just went like 14cc. I think that would really just throw Bisu for a loop. I don't think there's like any world where Bisu is proxy gaining. I don't actually think he's forward gating a lot of the times either. So out of all games to do like a 14cc, I actually think this could be good.
Yeah, but only if he actually prepare for that.
Of course.
Because Terran, yeah, mind games are good, but Terran need a lot of preparation. And if he didn't prepare a 14cc build, I will not really like try that, honestly.
Yeah, and if you get scouted quickly, which a lot of Protoss players do scout right after Pylon, you know, it can get nasty real fast. So we'll see how fast Bisu can actually find Barracks here. We've got the, okay, well, he's not going to scout with that probe, but we've got Gateway coming down. And Barracks is not going to 14cc, but he is going to build this Rax, okay, on the high ground. I thought it was going to go to the low ground, but not the case.
Yeah, it's true. Terran used to do that on Fighting Spirit, building the barrack on the low ground, then the command center.
Yeah, I think back then players felt like you had to have a SimCity versus the Zealot to help support your command center, but they realized, well, you know, I'll probably see the Zealot coming, and if I see the Zealot coming, I'll just delay the command center. I'll use, you know, the wall of the ramp, or the edge of the ramp wall and a depot to, you know, micro between to help defend versus the Zealots, and then you're just fine. So people no longer build the racks on the low ground. And we still see no SCV coming, or no scouting probe for Bisu. Barracks not going to find Bisu here, so, you know, based on last game scouting, I have a feeling he's going to go bottom left now.
Man, you know what's funny? Like with this build Bisu is doing, like a 14cc was actually the good pick.
Yeah, it would have been great, especially with these spawns. But it is always risky from Terran's point of view, because, like, even if you don't run into a Zealot, you have nothing to defend the SCV building the command center. I mean, even probe harassment is super annoying, and then you have to pull SCVs. You know, you're not mining gas, your Rax is late, and if Protoss opened with a tech build, you know, they could go like Proxy Robo or something, and then what do? I mean, everything's so delayed. So, you know, in theory, this game, it would have been great, but it's like incredibly risky.
Bisu scouting after making that Nexus.
Yeah,
He's really playing like free mind this time. He doesn't really care.
Yep, and he doesn't need really much intel this game, because by the time his goon gets across the map, I think he'll be able to just run by and see that, okay, this guy went gasless, and probably just put down a, you know, somewhat fast Reaver or somewhat fast third Nexus. Okay, maybe he won't, because Barracks is sending Marines onto the high ground. I mean, he may just go fight that goon. No, that would be crazy. He doesn't have any intel into what Bisu's doing. Oh, he is going. No, he's not.
Yeah, Barracks is showing courage on this one.
Yeah, and Bisu still doesn't know where Barracks is. Like, he went to the left side, but didn't go to the right. And Barracks sent out an additional scout, so he's gonna at least see the Nexus timing, but he's not gonna know the tech. Oh, no way, he got
does
it?
he get in the main?
Oh, I can't believe he got in. So he gets... Everything is aligning for Barracks today. He's going to see the Robo. That is crazy.
So how bad it is right now for Bisu?
I mean, it's not terrible because he still had a good build order relative to the Barracks. He went, instant Nexus, so he's going to catch up his worker count. But he did get his base scouted. He did kill 2 SCVs, though. And he's not able to damage the bunker because he doesn't have range. And whoa. That was an academy? Okay, I guess it's for scans. I just saw the academy and started freaking out. I'm like, wow, that's really fast. Is this Marine Medic push? But it's not.
Oh, it's all a second factory, so it's not really possible.
Yeah. Well, now range kicks in. We'll do a little bit of harassment, and Bisu is going to do what I expected him to do, which is immediate third Nexus.
Yeah, good pressure. So now that he scouted that robot, is he going to Observer first?
I think it's going to be observers. It could be Reaver, because maybe he's feeling like he doesn't have enough production to stop a timing. So I guess we'll wait and see.
You can snipe that tank, by the way. No? 4 Dragoons?
Yeah, 4 Dragoons will 2-shot it. But it's hard to snipe at these levels, but it is possible. And there goes the scan. I think the purpose of getting the ComSat was he wants to see if it's observatory or Reaver, like you said, and then make a determination like, okay, do I need to actually build Goliath now? If I don't, then maybe I flood more factories or just build a bunch of vultures and do some type of run by.
Yeah, man, but that was one scan. What if he actually built the how is called that build for the Reaver robotic
Support bay.
Support bay. What if he actually builds support bay in a different location?
It's definitely possible. A lot of Protoss players do that. They put the observer where observatory where Bisu put it, and then they build the support bay, as part of the pylon wall at the natural. So we know that that's not happening this game because there's a third Nexus, but definitely could have been a possibility. And it's not like Barracks scanned all the gateways. He only saw 3. He doesn't know that there's actually 4.
At least he has a record of where those servers is patrolling.
He's doing a good job to keep it back. I'm actually kind of surprised that Bisu didn't go in with the observer because it's only 1 Goliath. It's different if it was 2, but it's only 1. Oh yeah, it's a 5-pack. This is typical Barracks. This is exactly what I was expecting when we saw this matchup. He does timings all the time.
Yeah, he's go again. So the Citadel. Arbiter. It's Arbiter.
Well, Arbiter is good versus timings, but I don't think it's good in this particular scenario. I think he needs to cancel that and flood gates. Okay, well, he's flooding gates. I guess he can leave the Stargate. It wasn't the biggest commitment ever, 150, right? But it was imperative that that observer saw, hey, 5 factories are already done, because this is going to be a lot of stuff for Barracks, especially with his gasless opener.
Yeah, but seeing how he's using a scan so much, I wonder if making some DTs to slow down this push is a good idea.
It definitely could be good. If it was mini, I guarantee you he'd be building some DTs, but this is actually a 6-fact, not just 5-fact, so I feel like I see triple add-on, unless I'm mistaken. So triple add-on, okay, triple add-on means there's no upgrades, or at least not many. And he's going to, oh yeah, it's not triple add-on, you rarely see that, but this is still going to be a fearsome attack. But Bisu's doing exactly what he should do, which is sit on the high ground. It's going to be hard for Terran to easily get up there, unless he backs up.
Yeah, it seems like with only Dragoons, holding the high ground like that, I'm not really sure it's going to be super effective.
Barracks got past the hardest part of this push, which is just get to high ground. Wow, he's not even going to the third base, he's just going towards the natural.
There is only one shuttle, right?
Yeah, there's one shuttle. There's only, I think, like 2 Goliaths. Oh, he needs to siege up. He needs SCVs with this army. But here goes one tank. I mean, one goon. And there's buildable terrain up here. I think Bisu's got enough. I think that... Oh, well, maybe not. Really good micro with the Vultures to send everything back and limit the damage. The tanks are focus firing the goons really well. There's not very many Vultures left over. Oh, the goons are getting focus fired down. That one's gone. Those did almost no damage. Did he do it?
I think that I win. No?
Oh, I don't know. That's a lot of zealots now. And he had a tank rally instead of a vulture rally. Okay. Oh, really good micro back. Like I said, he still needs SCVs to repair these things and build turrets like that. Arbiter's on the way. So Bisu, he knew it was a timing, yet he still commits to the Arbiter. So there is a time window for Barracks here to get something happen. But as soon as the Arbiter comes out, this is a completely different game. Oh, whoa. Is he using Observer Bug on the turret? No, he's not. Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Wait.
Probably by a mistake.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Going to get DQ. That is not legal.
I think you're allowed to do that. I mean, I guess it depends on what the referees say, but I haven't seen that in a pro game in a long time. But even with that, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to deal with this push.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how Bisu is going to break that. It's many tanks, many vultures, turrets.
Well, the Arbiter's out, and now, even though supplies are even, well, okay, I guess supplies being even with their... Oh, actually, Bisu is mega dead. Oh my goodness, he's gonna get melted here. Look at the supply, he's already down subs. Wow, this was absolute destruction. And Barracks, don't let this guy gasless expand, man, because he just murdered Bisu, and Bisu even had, you know, a pretty solid follow-up, like Nexus, 3-minute Nexus off of no range into Arbor, into, you know, with also a third Nexus almost immediate, and still Barracks just blasted him. And this is what I've always said about Barracks, is look at how fast he pushes. He won the battle, and he's immediately on the Nexus.
No server?
Oh, Eonzerg, that means Hero...
Well, Nyoken, there is one
Jaedong.
stasis. There is one stasis.
Yeah, but there's no probes anymore. He has no money. Oh my gosh. Well, Hero, 2 out of these 3 players going to be gone. Hero, Jaedong, and Bisu. How did that happen?
Wow, I'm speechless, Nyoken. I don't know. I can't. Let me digest what happened, because I mean, to be fair, like, even if Bisu hold that, I think he will be DQ for using the server book.
I mean, we don't know what the actual rules are for the observer on the turret, because, you know, with the observer, I'm talking about the person watching the game. With the observer seeing the observer on the turret, if I was them and I knew it was illegal, I would have paused the game, right, and said like, "Hey, you gotta get this observer off the turret." But the fact that they didn't pause it and do that, you know, maybe it is legal. I don't know though. It was
That is not legal, Nyoken. What do you mean illegal? It's never been legal.
I'm just saying, there was no pause, and they like they're not going
If that
over
is
to
legal,
Bisu.
Nyoken, that means that Ser can just like put mutas on top of turrets now and is making them like stop working.
Well, when would that ever happen? Like I don't think
you can do that. You know, you can do that, right? Yeah.
No, I've never seen that.
Of course, you can do that. Try.
Okay, well, I guess later on
You
I'll
move
try
the
that.
mutas to on top of the turrets, and you make it then like stop working.
I've literally never seen that before, so I guess I would have to go into single player and experiment. with that. But this push, it was just a little bit too many tanks. By the way, there's so many tanks that were in the red here that barely survived. I really thought that these zealots were gonna like finish off a couple of them, but the micro backwards really saved the day. And I was worried because, as I mentioned, it was like a tank cycle and not a vulture cycle. So you can see these units that are coming, they're stuck on the tank and not reinforcing as quickly as they could. But in the end, still didn't matter. And Barracks is probably losing his mind right now, getting into the round of 8.
What surprised me the most is that the shuttle drop didn't like do any damage at all.
Yeah, the shuttle, well, yeah, because every time he unloaded, he instantly unsieged. And also Terran was doing a really good job to just focus the goons. It was actually really well done. I was surprised, like you said, that the shuttle did no damage because I don't remember seeing even more than one Goliath. Like there wasn't much anti-air at all.
That is insane, man. Barracks actually advanced like convincing. By the way, really convincing to to the run of 8. So this is insane. Good job by him, man. Good play, honestly. Really good plays.
Yeah, and in the graphic that we saw in the beginning of the cast, it was mentioning like uh, Barracks was, I think, 0-5 or 0-7 versus these players combined. So he's getting his first wins versus them in ASL. So that's going to obviously be a huge confidence booster. And now, with him being into the round of 8, he doesn't have to prepare for groups anymore. He can just specifically prepare for his opponent. Like he can definitely come up with some solid builds like the one he came up with on Kickback.
Yeah, but it's the first time he's going to be the run of 8, so it's not going to be easy mentally to play at that stage. And with that kind of like pressure. He doesn't know what pressure means.
It is true. Nerves could get the best of him. We'll see though. So far, he's playing really well. I'm trying to think. Yesterday we had Rush get out and Solky get out, so we've got 2 Terrans. We're still waiting for our first Protoss. Bisu obviously waiting the deciders match, so that could still happen. But Hero or Jaedong, they're going bye-bye when we get into our next match.
That is insane, Nyoken. So you're telling me from Hero, Jaedong, and Bisu, there is only one that is going to advance from this group. That is actually insane.
Yeah, and if Hero gets eliminated, that'll be like the first time probably ever that he got eliminated in the round of 16. I don't know what his actual stats are, but we always know Hero does really well, so that would be very surprising to see him lose.
Um, Honestly, he was the like a finalist last season, so that is possible that he could get eliminated. I can see that happening. Because usually when you lose a final, it's a bit hard to come back the next season.
It can be depressing. You get so close, like you get second place, and you think to yourself, like, will I ever make it here again? I'm sure he doesn't think that, but just in my mind, I would probably have thoughts like that because you know it's such a hard tournament. Obviously, first not to just only qualify, but also to make it to the finals. It must have some mental tax on you to lose like that.
Yeah, I remember a couple of players that they faced that situation, like Iris. It's in fantasy as well.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
why I always root for the players that never get a championship or have never gotten one, because it's like, dude, you've played your whole life. Like this is what you've been playing for, and now you make it, and then you may not ever make it again, which is why I was really rooting for Rush. Or was it Rush? Yeah, I think Rush made it twice, right? Where he faced Mini and he faced Royal. I was like, man, I really hope Rush wins versus Royal. Not because I like him more than Royal, but because of what I just said. Like you feel like you may not ever be able to get back there again. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
we've got 3 out of our 4 players qualified so far. Barracks obviously very excited. We're gonna, get some Protoss players into the round of 8 eventually. We just have to wait for Group C, which is going to be the beginning of next week.
Um, it's going to be hard because there is this group with Rain, Mini, and Snow. That one of them is going to get eliminated, and S tier player, by the way. So it's going to be really sad to see one of them like, not making it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, if Snow gets eliminated, that would be heartbreaking simply because we have so many Terrans still remaining, and he's just so good versus Terran that you gotta imagine he would have a really good shot to go to the finals if he got
Actually,
all Terrans, of course.
if Snow gets eliminated, I'm not going to be surprised at all because a Snow line versus a Snow offline is such a different player. Like the guy is a god online, but then offline is like, well, we don't really know what is going to happen here.
Some players are just like that. Like in the past, it was Kanata. Kanata was like an all-star on SK Telecom, in practice, but then whenever he had to play in person, he just couldn't get it together. I think it took him like, it's been a while since I've read about Kanata, but it was like 3 or 4 years before he could even play on stage. Like he really was a long time practice partner or B teamer. It, yeah, like some players just can't do it offline.
Man,
I think. Go
I
ahead.
hear that from Perfect Man as well. Do you know that Protoss player? Like he
Oh
was
yeah,
a god
perfect
on,
man.
he was a god in practice, but then he got to the stage, and my god, everyone was like thinking like, okay, who is this C rank Ice Cube player playing in Pro League right now? Because wow,
And now, whenever you think of Perfect Man, the only thing you think about is his failed recalls, where he's recalling like an observer because
yeah.
his recall was a little bit too fast as the arbiter was moving over a cliff. I mean, at least
Wait,
that's what I remember about him.
that happened to some NBC player called Jaehoon as well.
And Jaehoon, what was that? The Bermuda recall, I think is what they called it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Barracks Barracks is jumping like crazy today. That's a lot.
Oh,
That's a lot to say.
no, I mean, maybe they're like asking him, like, how did you prepare? And like, maybe he's talking about Flash helping him out. I don't know. But he talked about Flash helping him out in previous seasons. So it's definitely a possibility, but looks like interview's done. So now we will be going into a break, and then we'll be back with our match, ZVZ, which is going to be Jaedong versus Hero. Of course, they got to advertise their. It was a carry bag. Okay, it's still a carry bag and fan. They always have a new product every season.
That is cool. I remember there was a chair one time. It looked so cool.
Yeah, those chairs did look pretty sick. And when I was in Korea, I had a gaming chair, not their brand, but the gaming chairs are actually very comfortable. But either way, we're going to be going into a break, and we'll be back. And we are back. We're going to be going into our losers match. Surprisingly, it's going to be Hero versus Jaedong, so we're going to have a ZVZ. Now, what maps do you like for ZVZ, Eonzerg? Are there any that you're just like, no, I can't play it. I hate it.
I would say I will hate to play CBC on Monty. What else? Keep back as well. But it's not like, for CBC, the truth is that maps don't really matter too much. It's more about what builds can you face or what builds you are not facing. That is the reality, like rush distance, all of that. So, but yeah, I will say like it would be annoying to play CBC on Monty Hall.
Okay, that makes sense. There's a lot of intricacies with that map, with the minerals and stuff, can make it kind of weird. We'll see what these players come up with as bans. We already had a double Monty Hall ban in the previous match. I was thinking back to yesterday, we didn't see Dominator at all. We still haven't seen a Dominator game, right? So hopefully we can get some Dominator action, either in game 1 or
Yesterday
game
we
2.
didn't see Dominator. We didn't
Oh,
see any.
look at that.
Really?
These seem like shocking bans to me.
You know what I think it happens? Like someone probably thought like, okay, he's banning like Monty Hall. And he didn't pick it.
Yeah, it could be the case. The mind game to the mind game. And now all of a sudden we've gotten into I think the weirdest map of them all, especially in CVC. So let's get into it. Game 1 between Jaedong and Hero. We've got Mr. Jaedong in the bottom right, as we've got Hero in the top left. So I will say I've played very few games of Terran on Monty Hall, 0 games of Zerg on Monty Hall. Is this a map where you can go like 12 hatch, like push a drone to another base, or do you have to play at one base here?
And that's what I did when I played CBC. And jump over the drone and take a 12 hatchery.
Okay.
But I wonder, Nyoken, if you do that, and then the other third player opens the right lane, and he's doing a 9-pull build, you're probably dead.
Yeah, but what if you're on the left lane and they go 9-pull? Do you just get a free win?
The thing is that when you're doing a 9-pull here, I imagine you will go like 9-pull there. So even if you take expansion, that you are still like your spiral timing is super fast. So and the other player doesn't know. So I don't know. Maybe there is some kind of mind game possible to do there. I honestly I never tested it, so it's very hard to tell. But imagine everyone's going to a hash. That is the play probably.
So far, yep, it's going to be 12 hatch in the middle.
Oh no.
In middle and left. All right. Wait a minute. I don't know what's going on now. Okay, he's just mining it a little bit. And then we'll put down the hatchery. And Hero, going for big eco, builds an additional drone there. Meanwhile, Jaedong just going to get his spawning pool built immediately. Okay, another drone coming down here. Surely he's not pushing this. He is pushing this through. Wait, what? Is this 3 hatch before pool?
Oh my god!
Isn't this insane in ZVZ?
I only saw Flash doing it one time against Soma and he lost the game.
I mean, I may be trolling with this, but like I said, I don't watch Monty Hall, but coming into this particular match, I was thinking to myself, I bet Zergs often go for, hatch first on this map. Would it be like super troll to rush like the fastest mutas possible? Like, is that like a viable strategy here versus someone that goes fast hatchery like this? Like, imagine I had mute like a spire building right now. Like, could I stop? Could I do damage to a build like this?
The thing is like you are probably not thinking that this guy is making a hatchery in that position.
Okay.
So you, in theory, he's only going to need to defend 2 hatcheries.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, this.
So
Go ahead.
no, but the thing is like then you kind of like destroying your eco as well by making mass spores and evolution chambers, and you can probably snipe some drones as well if your mutant number get to 5. So and your 3 hatchery becomes useless because like you're not really going to use that.
Yeah, versus that particular style, the low econ fast mutas, yeah, then the third hatch is just useless. This third hatch is really deceptively placed. Also, like, I don't think this is ever getting found. And, like, if we get into a longish game, Jaedong's going to think he's going to be even on resources, and he never actually is, because the third base is going to be kicking in with third gas. Hero's going to be able to afford, like, armor or weapon upgrades. He's going to have more larva available. Jaedong's just going to fall farther and farther behind. Jaedong builds Lings, which is... Do you find that surprising? I find that surprising. He knows the hatch is on the left side. What's the usefulness of having these Lings? Oh, he's just going to flood. He's gonna pull drones all the way to top middle?
But
Oh, so never mind.
okay.
He's going to go to the left side.
Okay, but these 3 hatcheries.
It's 3 hatcheries, but Hero has no Lings. Like, actually 0. And the oh, he does have some. The Overlord also didn't see that Lings were built.
I'm not really sure if I like this build from Jaedong, man. But there is 3 hatcheries making mass serlings.
He doesn't know about that third hatch. Uh-oh. That got opened. It looks like Hero was quicker
Oh
on the
my
gun.
god, this is going to get so messy right now. Because one is doing mass serlings on 2 hatcheries and the other is doing mass serlings on 3 hatcheries.
Yep, and he just now starts a colony. Yeah, he's got to retreat. He can't hold this. And he even misses the creep on the left side also, so we've got a very weird game going on. Oh, he's going to go into... No, he's not going to go into the main. He's going to just try and take this down. I think this game's... It's got to be Hero's game. Oh, he's not even going to get the hatch because there's so many Lings. He's going to run into the main desperately, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the damage that he's looking for.
Yeah, the hatchery is alive, so like Jaedong is now on 1 hatchery. Like Hero can, in theory, just make mass scores and probably winning.
Oh, Hero's going to try and take down this main base. He's got a lot of Lings left over. All the Lings have died. This game's over. There's too many Lings. Drones are going to start falling. Muta DPS is not the greatest.
So
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Oh, those are Scourge. Never mind. I thought those were Mutas. Illiga supply, 36 to 21. I mean, that's all you need to know in Zerg versus Zerg.
Yeah, but she's not killing them. Oh, Jaedong missed the serlings.
Well, his Scourge died. Got no damage done. And that means that Hero, yeah, he just taps out instantly. And Hero, he's going to get game 1. Man, that game went from being big time macro to big time over in literally like a minute.
Yeah, the thing is like... Hero went 3 hatcheries mass serlings, so that just like beat Jaedong build, sadly.
That was a good build. I was not expecting that. I really thought that we were just going to go into an epic long mid and late game with mass mutas, but Hero, he had other plans. Actually, when I was looking at the minimap and Jaedong was building Lings and I didn't see Hero building Lings, I thought, oh, actually, it's going to be Jaedong the one that's going to try and, end the game quickly. But Hero 1 step ahead there, and now Jaedong, well, he needs to have some magic. He's 1 game away from potentially being knocked out of this tournament, and next map is going to be Pantheon, I think. So this is a huge map. This is another map where we could potentially see a crazy macro opener from Hero.
I think we're going to see 9 pool.
From both sides?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And what is the reason for that? I mean, Pantheon is a huge map, is it not?
Yeah, but when it comes to like attack with serlings, it's really straightforward, and the ramp is also is big enough, so it's like it's this weird ramp that is like high ground into low ground from like both sides, like natural and main. So I don't know. It's like a good aggressive build.
Well, we'll see if the 9 pool comes to fruition here as we get into game 2. Hero 1 point away from making it into that deciders match. And we do have Jaedong in top left, whereas cross spawn, bottom right, we've got Hero.
Oh my god, he made that drone from the far larva instead of getting the close larva.
I see that. So that's going to be, what, like an extra second or so of travel distance? Right. We're getting close to having the 9th drone. We'll see if anybody wants to go 9 pool. Got my eyes locked on those minerals. Will we have an overlord?
Yeah, there is overlord for Hero. There is overlord for Jaedong as well. So no one is doing 9 pool. Okay.
Yep, so maybe we will get another 12 hatch from both sides. That would be nice. I think we saw a lot of 12 hatch games in the Sulky Hero finals last season, didn't we?
Overpool.
Okay.
So if Hero actually does 12 hatch, he's going to be in a really good spot. He's actually doing 12 hatch Nyoken. Are you kidding me?
I feel like we saw a lot of 12 hatches last season when he faced off versus Sulky.
He just did a 3 hatchery. He did 3 hatchery before pool.
Yeah, a lot of times you see players like try and balance stuff out by saying, going like 9 pool as the follow-up, but not the case here. He doesn't care. He's just going to go straight into a 12 hatch. Maybe he's thinking like Jaedong is thinking, okay, Hero's going to go for a 9 pool, so I'll just overpool to counter it. But Hero has the counter to the counter here, and he's going to be in a really good position. Now, if you're Jaedong here, what do you need to do to get back into the game? Like, you're going to be down gas basically the entire game. Like, do you need to get lings in? Do you need to build spores? Like, how does he get back into it?
What do you mean spores? Jaedong doesn't need the spores.
I'm just throwing stuff out.
Okay. Well, first of all, he's going to get depressed after watching the 12 hash.
Okay.
You're gonna take his face. Second, he's going to need to survive a lean flu that is going to come at him. He's going to need to use a lot of resources into that. So I really doubt he can make like a second hatchery, because he even like started with 6 Zerlings instead of 4 or 8 Zerlings. So I mean, if somehow he sneaks 2 Zerlings and kill like 3-4 drones Nyoken, maybe he can win this.
See if he can make something happen, but so far we haven't really seen anything. We've just got the first few links out for Hero. Spire's just now started, so Hero's gonna be slightly behind on the Spire timing.
On top of that, he even scouted the Zerling, so now, yeah, this is it can be worse for Jaedong. I just like, my god, why is going so bad?
Oh, speed is kicked in. I don't think speed is not kicked in for Hero just yet, so I guess there could be a window of opportunity to potentially sneak some lings in, exploit the speed that you have. I don't think you can win this battle. I think Hero got off the first shot, by the way. Oh, enough lings popped just in the nick of time to push this back.
Just one hatchery.
Yep, just one hatch. That's pretty rough. Jaedong, still no drone going down for a hatchery or anything. Spire is way far behind, though. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than it is. Whoa!
Oh.
What?
If he can set the Spire, maybe there is a comeback.
Yeah, if you can get that cancel. How did these lings get in, though? Like, he saw
1 drone, 2 drones, 3
Wow,
drones?
those are the drones that you're talking about.
Yeah, the problem is that now there is a Zerling counterattack that is going to happen as well.
He's buying a lot of time though.
Yeah, but
mutas are gonna be up.
the thing is like, you don't really want to like counterattack pretty fast with mutas. But now since there is a link counterattack, I'm not really sure he can use the mutas that way.
Jaedong has 2 lings waiting to go for an attack. If the mutas intercept the lings, that would be great. Yeah, just kill them as they come in, or at least damage them. I think he can actually send it now. He's got, I think, 4 lings in his main, a sunken colony, and he should have a muta popping in just a moment. I don't think this is really going to do much damage. Really good control there to save every single drone.
Okay, killing 1 overlord, that is good. But it's still 1 hatchet against 2.
Yep, there's Scourge though.
Still better eco for Hero. He remade the drones.
Uh-oh. Ooh, just barely avoids them. The Scourge are shown. Oh, no connection. Oh, 1 did connect. Okay. Good micro. Oh, really nice. Only takes 1 hit, kills 3 Scourge. But Hero's, again, buying time to get his own muta count up. And remember, one of these mutas are damaged, so if he can get 5v5, he will win the battle.
Oh! Nice micro.
It's clutch right there. Somehow, despite losing those drones, Hero is still even in supply here, but he is down mutas. I think it's 6-4 right now. Yeah, 6-4. Who do not want to lose that overlord. That is a huge pick off. Now he's supply blocked, and Jaedong needs to go for it. If he's gonna supply block him, he needs to make make it worth his while. Oh, he's splashing all the Scourge. The muta control is crazy. He's gonna win this battle.
I think Jaedong got this, man. There is 1 Zerling killing drones as well.
It really does look like he should have this game. Scourge is going to sit over top of that egg, hit the Mutalist as it pops out, and all Hero can do is really just sit here and watch. Oh, he built Lings, so he can't even deal with the Mutalist at all. So we're going to go into a tied series.
It's only 2 mutas, by the way. Or 3. Not really
It's
sure.
not
Two
it's
mutas.
not many, but it doesn't matter how many it is as long as they're getting kills.
Okay,
Hero not going to tap out yet, but he is in a really terrible position. It's still only 1 hatch, but Jaedong has way more mutas. He has better econ, at least for now. He's up supply. He's not going to be able to... He's not going to take damage to like a link counterattack because he's got his sunken.
More Zerlings.
That's just way too many mutas. There's 5 mutas now. There's no way he can win the air battle. It's not even going to be close.
Unless there is like a crazy Scourge connection. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only way that it's going to work, but the muta micro is too good. Well,
Oh,
it was too
that's
good
it.
as 1 connects. There's no chance.
Okay, that was an impossible game to come back from, and he did.
Well, what are we? Am I missing something? What are we doing here? The guy has 6 mutas. Okay.
GG.
Like, I'm just not understanding. Like, there's 0 chance of you recovering. You don't even have 600 gas. So
That was an
Jaedong does.
insane comeback. That was like, honestly, that was like 80% win for Hero here. That was an insane comeback.
Yeah, that 1 Ling run by really just did a lot of damage and allowed him to catch up. And then, of course, getting the supply block and striking when he had, what, 5 or 6 mutas versus just 4. So he really hit at the moment that he had to. If he had waited even longer, he would have just been even, which would even mutas, which would have been bad because he's obviously down the hatchery. So it was really nice timing, and we will finally get our Dominator game.
So 9-pool.
9-pool, you still believe in the 9-pool here?
I mean, I don't know if Hero is going to do that to a hash again, honestly. That would be insane. There is no way.
Well, you would think there's no way, right? Because not only one, he's done it twice in a row, but two, it's Dominator where it's high ground. If the Zergling, if the opponent goes a 9-pool and gets on your ramp also, I mean, you're super screwed. So I agree. Oh wait, it's not Dominator. That was banned.
Minstrel.
Never mind, it's Minstrel. Okay.
Yeah, we are seeing a 9-pool 100% Nyoken.
Right. From both sides, you think it's gonna be 9-pool?
Probably. I on least Jaedong repeat build. Like, he just wanna quit that build against a 12 hash, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he is thinking along those lines. We'll see as we get into our final ZVZ. Who's going to be eliminated here? Will it be Jaedong or will it be Hero? And once again, in the top left, we do have Jaedong, whereas in the bottom right, we do have Hero.
Okay. If someone decides to do a 12 hash, that is probably Jaedong.
Maybe now's the time to mix it in. I really think we're going to see Overpool for whatever reason. Well, what about the what is it, Overgas? What about that build? Isn't that a good build versus
9-pool?
9-pool? Yeah. I thought I remember hearing that was a good build versus 9-pool.
Yeah, it's a counter build to 9-pool. To 9-pool. But they may overload, right?
It's 9-pool for... Nope, they didn't. Or did they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
where's
they may
the
overload.
9th drum? Okay, they did build an overlord. Okay, so it is no 9-pool. That seems surprising, I guess. And there's no overpool either. We're gonna have back-to-back... No, is it?
Oh,
it's a 12
11 pool.
11 pool, and then Hero's going
11 hatchery.
hatch.
Okay.
Well, this is again another build order win for Hero, is it not?
It is, Nyoken. It is. Sadly, it is. Hero, man, he's getting these build orders, and somehow he's a lucky guy today.
Clearly he is, because I don't think it could have gone better for him. He's, again, only going to be down slightly in gas, but he's obviously going to have more larvae, going to have better mineral income in the beginning also.
It's a great build against 9-pool, by the way. 11-pool. Sadly, it's not 11-pool, it's hatchery first.
Yeah, so he was trying to counter, you know, the build that you were talking about, because it really felt like there's no way this guy's going to 3 times hatch first in a row, but he ended up doing it. And
yeah, this is how Jaedong used to play, by the way. Just not caring at all, going hatchery first, hatchery first, hatchery first. It actually cost him an MSL final against Flash. Like, he lose against Queen doing this hatchery first and not caring at all about Queen doing 9-pools.
Oh, I don't remember that MSL, but I'll take your word for it. And the Overlord sees Ling's out on the map, so he knows that he's gotten the build order advantage. Jaedong, by the way, ended up going speed first, so just like on Pantheon, he is going to have the mobility advantage. Can he run into the main like he did last time, I guess is the question.
I think he has a problem here, because Hero is going to have so many Zerglings.
Well, he's going to have so many Zerglings, but Hero also went Lair first, by the way. So it's going to be speed versus Lair first. Lots of Lings, of course, but
Jaedong is already droning.
Jaedong's droning? Okay. Maybe he can catch up that way. Surprised that he's not making any moves with his lings just yet. Okay, there he goes. Nothing to find though. 12 versus 8. I'm getting worried that I'm getting worried that Hero's gonna recognize like, hey, you don't have that many lings, and he's gonna flood and run Jaedong over potentially.
No, but he knows he's going to do a link counter. This is what you do with when you have a hatchery first. Like you see, he's making Zonkens and everything. He's going to probably make 2 more drones and then only Zerlings, I think.
Well, Spire has gone up for both sides, pretty much identical timings. Pretty big supply lead, 26 to 21, but there is that single sunken for Jaedong. Of course, Sunkens don't have the greatest DPS versus lings, but it should be enough to hold here.
Yeah. But Hero is still going to commit to Zerlings until like the Spire is almost like 40% or like, oh, never mind. So.
By the way, I saw that drone brought the gas backwards. Like he went through the other side.
He missed 2 Zerlings? No, he didn't.
He's not going to lose those. But I saw that the drone mismined gas a little bit. I don't know if it's because the drone was being transferred and blocked it or what, but okay, it looks like it's been fixed by now. But 2 lings are going to try and get some damage done, and they actually do get into the main. That's pretty surprising. Or one of them does. Oh my gosh, that was good interception. Almost gets it, but survives with a little bit of health.
Is that a link counter attack?
Well, he saw the eggs being morphed, and he saw that it was morphing for a long time, so he knows that it's not Zerglings. Both players just went straight mutas here. Still a big lead for Hero. He's up 5 supply. Still, gas is pretty much identical. I think the amount of mutas that have been built is also identical.
These 2 Zerlings just saved that overlord, by the way.
Yeah. Well, for now, at least. Well, both players on the move with their Mutalisk, trying to find some straggler overlords. I think Hero is up 1 Mutalisk at the moment. He's got a lot of gas. Jaedong is very starved for resources, so I wonder if he's built an upgrade or something.
Skinning his own Zerlings to get the extra supply.
Yep. There's no drones for Jaedong mining the minerals at the natural, so that will add up for Hero over time. Even though he only has 1, I mean that's 8 minerals every 8 seconds, so it's like an additional 60 minerals, every minute. So that can be an additional Mutalisk in 2 minutes time.
They are just amazing mutas right now, and many scores as well. They are going to engage pretty soon, Nyoken.
That's a lot of Scourge. It seems like there's more Scourge for Hero. And Jaedong is just going to have to turn around. He's got, what is that, 9
Actually,
Mutalisk?
Hero is going for it.
Yeah, it looks like Hero's killed enough Scourge that he wants to just try. Oh my gosh, that doesn't connect
connected?
These
oh no.
Overlords are dead. That's a huge loss. Massive supply block. That means that he's just got to fight here, because it's going to take too long for him to recover. Wow, he didn't take any shots, and there's so many Scourge left over. Oh my gosh, this was a massacre.
GG.
That was impeccable micro right there, but you do have to admit that Hero had build order advantage in every single game. You gotta feel bad for Jaedong there.
I mean, honestly, Jaedong, he knows CBC. He just he lose the mind games today. It is what it is. If I was him, I would not be really super mad about it. I probably just needed, I don't know, Even in the first game, Nyoken, who goes like 3 hatches before pull?
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that in Zerg versus Zerg.
Like imagine Nyoken for a second, Jaedong didn't decide to attack, and he just like stay at his mid lane. You know, he doesn't open any more lanes, and Hero goes mass Zerglings. Hero decides to use the mid lane. Jaedong can actually just use the Zerglings and block the Hero entrance, and there is no way actually like Hero breaks that, you know, and that will be like a good way to win that map. But Jaedong plan was actually to use Zerglings to kill Hero, so that didn't work out.
And we're getting a look at the final battle here. The Muta micro is always crazy. Like, it was really good micro from both sides, but you just got to go when you're supply blocked like this. And it was just, I don't know, maybe one additional Mutalist that turned the tides for Hero. And it ended up being like 7-4 in the end. And obviously, he's going to easily win that. So we're going to be going into a rematch from earlier. It'll be Hero facing off versus Bisu in the deciders match. But of course, we got to break first. And then we'll be back with that series. Final series of the day. We're going to have a ZVP rematch from earlier. Hero facing off versus Bisu. Bisu got the best of Hero earlier, but can he do it again is the question. Now, I want to ask you, Eonzerg, we had both of these players getting out of the group, but now one of them's going to be eliminated. So, who do you got here?
I mean, you saying Bisu got Hero early, but it was Jaedong, not Hero. But yeah.
Oh, sorry. It was yes, it was Jaedong. Sorry.
Hero is the best CVP in the world, actually. So this is going to be really hard for Bisu Nyoken. It's really, really hard. This guy, CVP is incredible. I feel like if you ask any SR player, like the CVP that respect the most is CVPs, is Hero CVP. So this is going to be really hard for Bisu.
Okay, so it sounds like you're going with Hero here, and our map picks are going to be Dominator. There we go. Deja Vu and Pantheon. And once again, Minstrel and Monty Hall. Neither player wants to play those maps.
Doesn't make sense because Minstrel for CVP, as a third player, do you utilize many units and in a map that is blocked everywhere, just like the mobility of your army that is not always on control groups becomes super hard.
Well, we are ready with game one. So let's get into it. We'll be Dominator. And in the bottom left, we do have Hero. Whereas in the mid right, we do have Bisu. Now, is this a map that you see a lot of Zealot pressure on, or is this like a Forge expand type of map? What's your experience on here?
My experience on these maps, Nyokens, are like 35 plus minutes games. So many expansions that you need to care and to cover and so difficult to attack. It's just impossible at some point to just like break expansions. You're just fighting to take the whole map.
Okay, so it sounds like we could be in for an epic game then. I'm a big fan of any ZVP that goes split map. And we do have, of course, Pylon going down. Wait a minute. Isn't that Pylon one like pixel down too far? Does a gate and a forge fit here? Well, I mean, it obviously fits, but I mean, isn't this like a 2 gap now? Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not really sure. But Bisu is like doing a pylon scout against a hatchery first wheel? Is that? Oh, never mind. He made a pool now.
Yeah, I guess he got scouted first, so maybe it was going to be a pool hatch first. Gets transitioned into an overpool, and Bisu in response is going to go Nexus first. Well, I think he's going to go Nexus first.
Yeah, I think it's Nexus first. Oh, no. Okay.
Forge and then Nexus and then Cannon, I guess? I mean, you can go Nexus first versus an you can go... maybe not, actually. That pool seems really fast. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be done right now.
And he's boosting that spawn pool.
Yeah, he got it. I mean, it just I'm looking at it. It looks like it's faster than I was expecting it to be. There's still no cannon even started yet. Bisu needs to get that down ASAP. There it goes. Okay, luckily for Bisu, those are drones instead of lings.
No, but usually when the Zerlings are at the ramp and you start your cannon, you are still fine.
Okay. Wow, it's only 2 lings. That's it? Alright, I mean, he didn't even have vision onto what Protoss is doing. Like, for all he knows, a Zealot could have been coming across the map. But...
No, but he saw like his pylon scout. Usually that means Forge.
Oh, okay. Okay, it makes sense then. Well, there goes the hatchery at the natural now. So it is 3 hatch as expected. This was a 240 gas, something along those lines. So everything to me looks as I expect in ZVP. I would still like to see that wall, because it does look, or it did look slightly, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That gap at the top, that seems much larger than I'm used to.
The hero's going for lair here. Yeah, made it a tier expansion.
Good mind game to build it there. Maybe potentially make Protoss think that they're going speed first. We do have Overlord, scouted the natural, just sees everything is normal. Also has Overlord in the main, so he sees the cybernetics timing. Stargate should be starting pretty soon. I think the cybernetics is about to complete any moment now. Yeah, really close to finishing.
I think you're right about that wall. And I feel like Hero could like master this wall.
I mean, he might try to. There's 3 gaps. The pylon and the forge. There's obviously a huge gap at the top. And I'm not sure about the gate and forge gap. But for some reason, I'm thinking there might be a gap there also. But we do have an initial Zealot move out. It does just move into the darkness and then back up.
But yeah, no, Hero is just playing a super standard CVP. Hero likes to play Chick Hatchery's Muta, by the way, so that's probably a playstyle I'm expecting from him on this map.
Okay. Maybe Bisu will go like double Stargate as a response then in StarCastTV Star League. Last season we saw a lot of 2 Stargate games, but so far only 1 Stargate. And he does have +1 weapon coming on his ground. So you probe.
Ooh. What is the Citadel? Did he started it now?
Yeah, I think that's at the, yeah, right there. So Citadel not going to be double Stargate. A little bit of a bummer there. 4th hatch coming down. That's a Hydra Den at the top, I think. I don't think that's an evolution chamber.
Is it? Yeah. Oh wow, 4 hatcheries Hydra Den into a 5th hatchery, so it's going to be a super quick Hydra timing here.
So if you're gonna do like a super fast Hydra timing, how many mutas are you building? Are you building like 5?
I think he's making a scourge now. I think he's making a scourge. No muta. He's going on like it's almost like a semi all-in timing.
Okay. Well, there's only 1 cannon up for now. Corsair has not seen the Hydra Den just yet as it goes into the main, but I'm sure it will see it pretty soon. But of course, he doesn't know when it was actually built. So it's going to be hard to read exactly what this is. The supply block is pretty nice. Kept Zerg at 35 out of 35 for quite a while. Evolution Chamber too, so he's going to have +1 upcoming.
Here goes the scout, just 1 scourge. So there is no temporary archive.
First Hydras are already out, and I think they had speed, so he's already got that upgrade done. And this may just completely catch Protoss off guard, because Corsairs still aren't out on the map anymore, like they've lost vision. Protoss is going to move out, and I feel like we're going to have the same situation as the Jaedong game, where Zealots move out, and then he runs into like 20 Hydralists.
Yeah, the difference here in Nyoken is that Bisu is only on 1 gateway, so he can really lose these units, man.
There's 5 Hydras right there.
It's even like less drones than what Jaedong did.
Yeah, it feels like the Econ's a little bit worse. The Hydra count is similar though. He's gonna branch off 1 Zealot, and now he should know, right? There's no reason to have this many Hydras at this point sitting
Not
right
only
there.
that, the range is about to be done, so this is so dangerous. These cannons are going to die, 100%.
Yeah, there's only 1 that's completed. There's like no secondary cannon. He's just now starting to build the 2nd, 3rd, and oh, actually there is a secondary cannon, but you're right. I don't think that these are going to complete. Zealots are just trying to buy time is what they're doing. And +1 kicks in, but it's not that strong of an upgrade versus Hydras, and he's just going to pounce on this. Also, I want to point out this is an Artosis pylon. He could kill the pylon and everything's unpowered.
Oh, that was super nice.
Oh, if the DT gets out and he kills the Overlords, he got one of them. Oh, wow. Actually, Bisu holds. And he snuck out the DT. That is crazy. I don't think he noticed the DT at the top. So if Hero's not paying attention, you already talked about the low drone count. If he can get into the third base or the natural, this could just completely turn the tides of this game in Bisu's favor.
Yeah. Bisu knows he's making more cannons, so I'm glad he's making more because he only has 2 gateways.
There goes that DT. Getting ready to sneak in.
No, but Hero knows. Or
I don't think he knows.
Oh, he does send 1 kill too. He knows.
Okay, that's nice. He gets 3 of them and gets out of there. Doesn't even take a single shot. So Hero now, I saw him do a drone cycle. He's going to try and macro out of it, but Bisu really didn't take much damage. Like, yes, he had to pull probes, but I don't think he lost many. He built a lot of cannons, and yes, he was only on 1 gate for a while, but now he's ramping up that gateway count, going into 8.
Yeah, Hero Eco is really good now, making 6 hatchery. I wonder if he's making lurker, or he's going to like go to mutas.
Yeah, we saw Jaedong end up going lurkers in the Radeon game, but it could be mutas this time, like you said. Corsair's still trying to figure out exactly what the follow-up is. For now, it looks like Hero's just content with powering.
That is many gateways.
Yeah, that's a ton of gateways, and he has his robo coming, so he knows that potentially there could be lurkers on the field, so he's going to get his observers out pretty soon.
I have to say, Hero build totally failed, by the way. He only managed to get a gateway. So it's not really ideal. It's not an ideal situation for the third player.
Yeah, not even getting the forge is pretty bad, as Protoss just got their 1-1 upgrade, so +2 armor would kick in around like 13 minutes now, which is obviously going to be a good timing. Another Overlord died somewhere, puts him into the red once again. He's going to find another one.
It's Bisu, man. These coursers.
Oh, and
they
he gets
chase
the
Overlords.
Yeah, they're not allowed to live. The drone not allowed to live either, as he just one-shots it and just walks away.
So I see a lot of gas on Nyoken. He's probably going to do like a muta timing.
Can you do a muta switch? Like, he hasn't killed any Corsairs. Aren't there 7 alive here?
Like 5? Oh, 6.
Okay.
I mean, like, he has to. Like, he is going to suicide the mutas. But he has to. There is no other choice.
Well, that Scourge gets a connection, but doesn't actually kill anything. But Bisu feels like he's... Oh, well, I thought he was going to attack, but instead just backs up.
So 4 expansion starting for Hero here. Lose the DT. Bisu. There is only 3 high temperatures or 4 high temperatures. Full energy, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how many they are, but like you said, they're full energy. So that's the main issue for Hero, is it's not just 3 storms. It's going to be like 8 storms. And supplies are starting to gap up for Protoss. He's up 30 supply now. He's on the move. Lurkers are complete, though, and it looks like he has burrowed them, or is about to burrow them. And these Hydras are acting like they want to counter, but instead of taking that mineral only, he's opting to go to bottom right.
I don't think... Oh, he has a server. Okay.
Well,
I really hope Bisu is not committing to attacking.
Yeah, this is 1 million lurkers. You can't get past this. There's even more morphing. Well, he's gonna try. I don't think this is gonna work. Hiders are coming in through the back also. Well, they just want to counter. Okay. He's trying to use these Hiders to prevent the third base from getting up.
Yeah, so far so good. No major losses from any size. Hero even putting Hydras in the main to counter DT drops, because Bisu loved that. +2 attack already for Hydras, even if he started slow with 2 grades. So, I mean, Hero is in a good spot right now. I'm not really sure if he can defend that 4 base, by the way.
That seems like it's gonna be hard, because that's also a tiny area. Storm would just do tons of damage. I'm most worried about the next couple seconds coming up, because I think Protoss just hit +2 armor. So he's looking to attack, or he's about to hit +2 armor, I guess. This is not a very big Zerg army, is it?
No,
Okay.
but he's distracting the Bisu with this move.
Yeah, he gets a free zealot, and the Hydras are going to counterattack bottom right. There's a lot of zealots here. Okay, so this is not going to work. Zealots plus some cannons, plus Bisu's units are already nearby.
Is Hero making the same mistake that Jaedong did?
Well, is that an Overlord drop? Like, why is it? I was hoping that stuff was getting clumped up over there, so he's dropping.
Oh, not the High Templars! He intercepted the High Templars!
Good storm. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Those 2 storms in the back, though, those were huge, huge damage. And that means that he loses a ton of lurkers here. It's not like Hero's in trouble, though. He's still got basically even supply. He's still got 4 bases, but that was some heavy losses. I'm most worried about the fact that he's still on lair. What do you think about that?
It's totally normal. Like, he's probably going to start the Queenness right now. He's just trying to, first of all, set up a good position that he can defend, and then focus on Hive.
Hydras and the lurkers repositioning themselves constantly all over the map, trying to get themselves an advantageous position, but there's just too much movement from Protoss. Also, that is a lot of lurkers. What is that, 10 lurkers? The storms are pretty good.
Yeah, but Hero is Bisu is using a lot of storms on these single lurkers, and there is a lot of Hydras left to deal with.
Yeah, actually, Bisu went down in supply now. He's down 140 to 135, so he's up like 10 to 20, now down 5. That's a pretty sizable swing. Hero's doing a good job to keep Bisu in check. And look at that, he's not even mining his 3rd base gas because so much action has been going on.
He's on trouble, Nyoken. That is many units coming now to the for expansion from Protoss.
Ooh, another good storm. More lurkers are falling. That's another good storm at the top side. This could be a canceled Nexus. And I hope that those Overlords have dropped so he can just drop into the main, but we may not even get there. Bisu's army got melted. How did that happen?
He made that many Hydras. I have no idea.
Yeah, didn't we watch him fail?
The storm, that storm was good.
That was a really good storm. He kills like 10 Hydras, but didn't we watch him fail a low econ opener? And he transitioned it into this?
Let's say Hero 4 base is not full saturate. This is almost like all in, by the way.
Maybe that's how he's able to get so many units. Every time I look at his money, it's really low. You can see it consistently going under 100, 200 minerals as he pumps out those Hydras and lurkers non-stop. This is going to be hard to get up. I don't know if I like this. There's cannons and zealots and storm and goons all in good position. Yeah, this felt like a desperate attempt from Hero to end the game, and now Hero, who was up supply a moment ago, he's now down 30 supply.
But he still has many units left.
Well, I think what he's thinking here also is if he just keeps the pressure up, Protoss is going to be mined out in the main and natural pretty soon, so it'll be 1 base versus 4, and eventually he'll win.
I think Bisu is holding this.
No, if you look at the main for Bisu, he has like 2 probes mining the main minerals. His natural's mined out. Like, yes, he's held for now, but his econ is really bad.
I think it's bad because he wasn't able to transfer workers in time to the tier.
Don't tell me that it froze. Okay, we're back. Yeah, he transferred a lot to the 3rd base, and now he's long distance mining his 4th. Oh, this could be another cancel. And it's just so hard to deal with the attacks from both sides. There's lurkers right here splashing the Templar. Actually got a cancel on that Nexus. So
it's probably
it's over.
For Bisu. It's probably it for Bisu. What a game, GG, man. That was a CVP masterclass. I need to copy this video.
That was a lot of stuff. That's what I was talking about earlier. I was talking about how I don't get how JYJ optimizes his build. Always has so much stuff. I mean, you even mentioned at the beginning, it felt like Hero had a lower drone count than Jaedong earlier. Yet, even though he failed his attack, he turned it into huge macro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
one of
but
the
I think the big deal here was that there was a point that Hero was moving his army, and Bisu kept storming a single lurker over and over. I was like, there are not that many storms left now to deal with the amount of hydras that Hero has. And eventually the army clashed, and just he didn't have any storm.
Yeah, also he did a good job with the constant movement, hitting from multiple angles. I don't think Bisu was able to use up all his storms. Like at the very end, I only heard 2 storms, and he had at least 3 Templars. So now Bisu's on the back foot here. We're going to be going into Deja Vu again. And can Hero actually close it out here? I mean, he looks super deadly. He looks as deadly as he's ever been in ZVP.
I consider that build, or at least that game, it wasn't even like super clean for Hero. So if he actually play better than that, I think Bisu has no chance.
Okay. And here we go. Bottom left of Deja Vu, we've got Hero. Whereas in the top right, we do have Bisu.
Yeah. So the last game it was Overpool against Forge. I wonder if Bisu is going to try a getaway first this time, trying to put more pressure. But if he does, it's unfortunate that this crosses paths for him.
What about Cannon Rush? Is that a possibility on this map? Does Bisu do
Uh,
cannon rushes?
I'm not really sure on this map, Nyoken. I actually didn't try hatchery first on this map, but I think there are spots to do a cannon rush for sure.
Okay. Those are some Hero fans right there. And Bisu fans right there. Looks like this is going to be the 9 gate as the probe comes back down.
So he's repeating build. Oh no, it's getaway first, okay. Okay, great. Great opening for Bisu. I like that opening for Bisu, to be honest, because the most dangerous Bisu is the one that is always like, like showing his micro, getting good trades. That's the Bisu I fear the most.
Yeah, the big time multitask also. We know what he can do with DTs and Corsairs, but also in the Jaedong game, he had the good stutter step micro with his first 2 Zealots, that initial push. Maybe he can have better success this time. I think that this was an 11 hatch. It might have been a 12.
No, 12, 12.
Okay, 12. And then there's the 11 pool. Drone came down and was checking for potential cannon rush, but didn't see anything. And now we'll have an interception and a... Well, actually, Probe's just going to take a lot of shots. Now, with some good control here, no, he's just going to let it go.
Is he doing it?
No, he's faking it. And by the way, we could have fit cannons on the left side, so that answers my question there. But we do have the Zealot coming out onto the map. And Drone is going to go to bottom middle for the 3rd hatch. So this is looking pretty much like the game on Radeon, where 3rd hatch at the 3rd base, really close by. We're having rallied 2 Zealots across the map and Nexus as the follow-up.
Yeah, it's a running fortunate Nyoken it was crosses pounds. Hero, again, with a great build order. This guy's been killing it today with build orders, by the way.
Luck is clearly on his side, but those 2 Zealots have avoided the Overlords and the drone, and they do have good DPS. Like, this is also a really far travel distance, so not that I think he's going to get a cancel into the hatchery, but he could get a lot of damage. But instead, he's waiting to show them, try and sync it up with that probe.
Actually, Hero made drones, so that hatchery is in danger. Well, not the hatchery. Apparently, Bisu decided to go for the main.
The Lings missed the Zealots. Hopefully these are Lings for... Oh, it looks like they could be Lings. Hero just lets him in. No drone taken down just yet, but that one's heavily damaged. He gets one. He just misread the situation. Didn't get the get vision of any of the Zealots, and this is what you were talking about. This is the type of Bisu game we want to see, where he can micro and out multitask you, forces out a lot of Zerglings. Also, Hero does manage to get one Ling into the main, but that should be dealt with pretty easily.
Good job by Bisu here.
Micro. He's able to maximize this damage. That was nice.
Yeah. That was really nice. That said, it's still a really rich build for Hero. Like that the three hatcheries, that tier base it finished so quick as well. So there is not really like a wait, what is that? What's that like? No gas? No drones in gas? At the main?
He pulled off of gas. I think he's now going to go into like 5 hatch, no gas. Maybe he felt like he had to build too many Lings. Lost a couple drones that he can't recover. So now he's going to try and, I guess, play more passive. Just ramp up the larva count. And I guess just deal with Corsairs with Hydras. Now that drone needs to be fixed ASAP.
He's not going to find it.
So, that was good micro. Saves that drone. What about that one? And he saves that one too, okay. We have another hatch, so 5 hatches. Now started to mine gas. There's the Hydrogen as expected. And second gate coming down. Citadel already basically done.
Yeah, this is a really nice build for Bisu here. It's going to put a lot of pressure with zero the speed, forcing Hero to make more units or Sankens.
Yeah, the Corsair hasn't confirmed what's going on just yet though, but it is finally out, so it's on the move, and that drone is still not found.
I don't think he's going to find it, unless
Yeah.
there is something that happens.
Yeah, it really does seem like that's the case. Evolution Chamber also being built at bottom middle, so he's going to get his upgrades going, but yeah, actually this Corsair could get like 4 kills if it just sat here. Okay, maybe not, as the Hydras pop out.
That was too ambitious, Nyoken. Like, we went for 4 kills to none.
To 0. I was hoping that those weren't Hydras there. I was like, please, like, just splash down like 1 or 2 of them, but Hydras in the nick of time. That is a huge drone count at the 3rd base, though.
Yeah, Hero is missing Overlords. It's supply block.
Well, comes out of supply block now, but here comes the Zealot timing. And these Zealots should have speed pretty soon, maybe like 30 seconds. That was a nice pickoff onto the... He got rid of one of the weakened ones. That's a nice find. Now it's only 5.
This is such a dangerous build for Bisu. Because like Ser now on 6 hatcheries, you just let him produce non-stop. The pressure is going to be insane.
Well, I think Bisu is hesitant to commit here. He knows that there are Zerglings in the back. He knows that there are Hydras. And, you know, he knows it's a non-lair Hydra build. And he doesn't have +1 weapons, so the Lings can actually be very impactful. So instead, he's just running around trying to find the angle. Here's one of them.
But there are more silos than Hydras and Zerglings combined. He should be engaging, no?
Well, he knows that, but I think he's worried that he may overstep, like there. If he had gone there, that would have been way too many Hydras. So he's going to just posture back and once again going to 8 gate or 9 gate.
On 2 bases against 6 hatchery Hydra.
Oh, he fixed the drone. He probably saw it when he went down there to build his fire.
Finally.
Now the Zealots have decided that it's time to attack. Maybe he's waiting for +1. Gets in there, kills all the lings, killing a good chunk of Hydras also. There's a big bunch of Hydras at the bottom, but they're not here to help, and that means that all of these Hydras are going to fall. Oh, the Overlords. There's only 2 Corsairs, so I don't think they're going to get many, but they will get some.
Man, those 2 Hydras that took their day off or something.
Yeah, why were they up there? They were just watching.
They were sitting there like, this is not my problem.
Yeah, they don't want any piece of that. They knew it was going to happen. So they just sit there and watch. And now Bisu's up 40 supply. If I was him, I would actually consider just taking a 3rd base, but maybe he really does just want to go for another big goon Templar timing. He's got the Templar sitting there banking up energy.
Bisu just lost a Corsair. This Corsair is also low on HP. Spire about to finish. How he is planning to deal with Mutas? Oh, that Archon.
Well, that's how. He also saw with his Corsair that Hero's mining 3 gases, so I guess he's aware that a Muta switch could be possible. We haven't seen the Mutas just yet. We also haven't seen Lurkers, but getting the Dark Archon for the Maelstrom will prevent, the Mutas and potentially catch the Lurkers as they're moving.
The thing is, like, that Archon mobility, it's really difficult because if Bisu just like, he went out with his army, Mutas got inside the main, he's in troubles.
Yeah, he'll have to have the Dark Archon put in key positions. We do have the Zealots still kind of just running around, but not really able to find anything. There's no drone up here, so there's no possibility of a hatchery. Instead, we've got, 12 Zealots in the center, still fishing for some Hydras.
Okay, he's making more cannons in the main. I still think he's in danger to face Mutas. Because if Hero just make 5 Mutas first, and Bisu use that energy, and then Hero comes with more Mutas, then he's going to be in troubles anyway.
But he still doesn't know about the Dark Archon. Protoss is about to move out. The Dark Archon should have 100 energy in second. And Protoss now setting up to take that 3rd base at top middle.
Let's say Nyoken, if he hit a Maelstrom into these Hydras and just they clump together, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's going to be massive value. I think Dark Archon still hasn't been spotted, but I don't know if Zerg can actually engage this army. There's the Muta switch that you were talking about, but he hasn't baited out the Maelstrom yet. Oh, there's the 5 Mutas that you're talking about also, or 3.
Yeah, but I wonder if Bisu is going to fall for 3 Mutas.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, here we go. It all comes down to this. If the Dark Archon...
He saw the Mutas.
Yep.
He's getting... Oh my god!
Well, there goes that idea. Those are all gonna die.
He's not killing the Mutas.
Well, he killed enough, and now he's gonna focus down on these Hydras. He landed a perfect storm at the top side and right... Oh my... This was a catastrophe. Hero's gonna get mowed down. Look at the supplies go from pretty close down to now 70 versus 150.
Wow. That was a really nice play by Bisu.
Yep, and unlike last game, or whatever game Hero was playing where he kind of drew it out a little bit, he knew that he just got owned right there and immediately GG's. And now we're going to be going into a tied series.
Yeah, by the way, I apologize for calling the GG too early. I just got too emotional watching the Dark getting the Mutas. I don't even know why I say GG. That was... I got too emotional casting that. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I think everybody knew that once you get 22 supply of Mutas caught like that and they do no damage, and he only wasted, or it wasn't even wasted, he only used 1 storm, and Protoss had high ground, I mean, there's no hope for Zerg. It's not Zerg didn't even have lurkers either, so Zealots are going to be doing work too, and it was really well played from Bisu. Hero had no idea that Dark Archon was on the field.
Yeah, but as a Zerg player, usually you assume that if you don't see that many coursers around, it's like Protoss is making their Archon.
That is
If
true. We
that makes
saw.
sense.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. He only showed, I think, 2 Corsairs, right? Maybe Hero thought it was just gonna be more Dragoons, or maybe he thought that Hero showed 5 hatch, right? Like he went 5 hatch no lair. Maybe he thought that Protoss was responding by going tons of gates and more zealots early. I don't know exactly what he was thinking, obviously, but uh, yeah, I actually was surprised that he did go mutas because of, like you said, he only saw a couple Corsairs. Either way, though, we're going into match point here, and winner will be moving on, and we'll be back on Pantheon again. I think this is the first Protoss versus Zerg we've seen in this round of 16. And here we go. Top right, we've got Hero. And Bisu striking back in game 2. He's spawned in the bottom right.
Yeah, so it's like you say early on, it's a big map, many expansions. But Bisu is Bisu, and if he's able to do like a key timing like he did in the last game, Hero is going to be in troubles. Like that timing Nyoken he hit in the last game was perfect.
And it seems like that's what he wants to do in all these games, because every game so far has been a similar follow-up. It's always been a second gate at the natural. It's always been followed up by 9 gates, not just 7, not just 8. It's always been 9 gate, and he's always been hitting this +2 armor power spike every single time. And now finally we see something other than the 12 hatch. It's going to be a 9 pool this time, and this is going to be a gate opener once again.
Bisu is going to do a first scout. Is this actually... He's not canceling the gas, so it's 9 pool speed lean against 1 gate. Unlucky for Hero, he got scouted first.
Well, Bisu's going to scout him first also. Now, I don't play Protoss or Zerg, but I imagine when you scout this fast and you see that this is the build, I mean, this is mega all-in, right? So I would just immediately put down a Forge, get cannons. You know that Zerg's econ is really down in the dumps.
But you can put pressure on the Protoss. It's not as easy as you think. Like it's just make Forge and cannon. You need to survive that stage.
Well, there's still no Forge, and Zerglings are about to pop out. He did actually get gas. It's not a fake. There's the Forge, and we'll see how Bisu reacts to this. His first Zealot is out. Overlord spotted it, so he knows that it has moved out.
The other thing is like he can let these Zerglings get into the main.
Yeah, there's a gap at the top and a gap at the bottom. There's only 1 Zealot, so he needs to fix that hole ASAP.
There is a problem here.
He's in! How did that? No! All 5 or all 6 get in, but with 3, and they're even gonna get into the main. Are you serious? And speed is what? An 80-second upgrade? I feel like he's at least halfway through that upgrade.
Yeah, he is not supposed to let that happen. Now, he's not dead. He can make a cannon. But seeing it's going to be so hard for him now to defend this. Look, speed is done.
He's got a cannon, probably his main also. I mean, he has probes and zealots, but he has to be worried that there could be a Ling flood at the natural. Like, there's so many Lings that can attack from the back. There's a canceled cannon, and it is going to be a Ling Flood. He's going for it. He's all in with this. He's going to kill the cannon from the backside, hit with the Lings from the main also.
Actually, he doesn't need to. He just can't do this. Just kill the Silos one by one and abuse the speed, the surging speed. Delay the Nexus and just keep going like this.
Yeah, and you can get that pylon too. I mean, Protoss would have to pull a lot to defend it. That's 8 Lings. Like, that's a ton of DPS. That's another perfect surround right there. I will say that the probes did get a good surround themselves too. But the problem for Bisu is he still doesn't know what the follow-up is. Like, there's a lot of Lings, but it's not an all-in like you said.
Well,
maybe there's another
where's the
hatch
Tir
in the
Hatchery?
main.
He made the Tir Hatchery in the main?
Yeah, he built it in the main, so maybe this is just an all-in Ling Flood. Okay, another probe dies. The 2 probes died. He could kill that Zealot. Bisu is in
Nexus.
Bisu's in trouble. He's trying to evaluate how much stuff is actually at the natural, and there he goes. Nope, not yet.
No, he can go because there is a cannon and 3 Silos, and now there is a cannon in the main as well. So Hero just need to chill and go drones.
Yeah, I think that's the smart move. He's got enough larva that he could do that. The probe is going to come in for another scout. Unfortunately, the Lings barely miss it. But he will find it now. Finally, Bisu feels like he's held, so he puts down his Nexus. And Bisu will see that, okay, you were all-inning pretty hard, but he doesn't get to see that there's a 3rd hatch. And Hero's going to shoot back up in supply pretty quickly and recover that drone count.
Yeah, the thing is now Bisu doesn't know if Hero is doing a Hydra then follow-up.
Yeah, that's another thing to be cautious of. You know, the guy obviously has the gas. He's obviously built a lot of Lings. Lings can soak up the hits while the Hydras dish out the damage. So Bisu definitely does need to be very cautious. So far, he's just getting by with 1 cannon, right?
Yeah, for Hatchery, for Hero, he's only making drones. But that is the problem. Bisu doesn't know what Hero is doing. He's just playing defensive right now, making more cannons. You look at that. He's even making a 2nd cannon already. I guess he's going to be forced to attack with Silos at some point to find out what the hell is going on.
There's so many Lings keeping him back. I don't see how the Zealots are going to get across the map. He only has, what, like 4 Zealots? Something like that? Zerg will spot that the Stargate is coming down, and this is 4 hatch Hydras. There's no lair.
Yeah, that too, Nyoken. It could also be like 2 hatcheries lair and Hero is doing mutants.
Also a possibility. Good trade there for Hero. Gets rid of the Zealot. His 4th hatch is about to finish. He's been droning like crazy for the past minute and a half or so. And he'll get that saturated, I'm sure, pretty soon. We still haven't seen a look in his main to see if he's started to go lair, but I don't think he has. I think he's just going to start pumping out those Hydras pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Bisu actually collected. He's not making more extra cannons, nothing. He's about to scout as well. Hero, I imagine, is going to put pressure with those Hydras. By the way, eco-wise, I feel like Hero, even if he made that Tir Hatchery, I feel like he's still like not in an ideal position with drones.
I was thinking the same thing. Despite it being so quick, I was expecting the supplies to be a little bit closer than they are. I mean, the drone count at the natural looks pretty good to me, but the fact that it's still only 4 hatches and no lair makes me think that maybe I must be missing something. As I say that though, 5th hatchery did go up at top left.
By the way, what I am missing that Hero made 2 Stratos already, but there is no lair, no evolution chamber.
Yeah, that's strange. I guess he needs it for range and speed and to be able to support 4 hatch Hydra for as fast as he got it.
By the way, I think he's going to get a Forge.
Okay, well, he's found the Overlords here. This time he will definitely get 1. and he's going to jump on this gateway. This gateway is mega dead. May be able to get the forge also, and I don't think +1 is done or even close to being done. So this is going to be a nice pickoff if he can hit it. Wait a minute, was that a second Stargate?
Second Stargate?
I thought when they clicked it, it was a second Stargate, but maybe they just clicked the real Stargate too quickly and I misread the text. I can't imagine him building a second Stargate seeing mass Hydralisk, but either way, it is just non-stop Hydras. Even, what, 9 more, 12 more just got built. And Bisu, he's going to have to build 1,000,000 cannons here. He still doesn't even have speed. I don't see a single Templar.
Yeah, I was thinking just that. Like, I didn't see the Templar Archive either.
Well, he got +1 done, so at least that finished.
I think he's in troubles. There is 1,000,000 units there.
Yeah, I don't think he can survive this. It's just way too many Hydras, and it's 5-hatch. Yeah, he needs to literally build cannons that take up his entire natural. But if he does that, Zerg can just, you know, power up. Here comes Hero. This is a ton of Hydralisks. There are a lot of cannons, though, but the Zealots are going to get shredded, most likely. They're soaking up some hits. Okay, finally speed kicks in. Maybe it's not as many Hydras as I thought.
Wow. Bisu really made many cannons.
Well, it's the correct move. I think he needed to have all of them. I don't know if those 2 cannons are powered, by the way, at the bottom left. Yeah, that one is not powered up. But it looks like Bisu is actually going to hold on here. Now, even though Zerg committed a lot to this, he still has the 5 hatches. He's still got 1,000,000 drones. He can just expand again, put down his 4th base, and it looks like that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, but there is a difference here. He doesn't have grace, and he's not making the 6th hatchery either.
Yeah, he's just now getting the 6th hatch going, and I saw that his evolution chamber just finished. There's no way that he can bust anymore. The Templars are out. There's way too many
Bisu is
cannons.
double upgrading behind this.
Yeah, so his units are going to be mega tanky, and Zerg is not going to be hitting very hard. That was an attempted 7th hatch, but doesn't actually start. Now it starts.
Protoss is going to have like energy for a storm. I wonder if he's making lurker already.
I think this could be another Muta type. Well, it can't be Mutas because he doesn't have Spire. But I was thinking, like, the Corsairs, once again, there's not that many. It came in and it's Saul.
Oh, storm about to hit.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's another pretty decent one, but he's going to lose both Templars for that. However, there's a lot of Zealots on the move here. Supplies are really close, though, 97 to 83. I don't think that Hero's going to have any hard time dealing with these, but maybe the Zealots can make something happen at that mineral only? No, he's just going to turn around.
I just feel like Bisu is not going to scout that. I'm not really sure if he saw it with his air, by the way. Did he?
I don't think he did.
It's going to be such a hard expansion to scout.
Oh, that's what
Because who is expecting you to take the mineral only?
Yeah, I don't know. But it is the Dark Archon again. You know, I was looking at Hero's gas, having the 1200 gas, and I was thinking, you know, he might Muta switch again since he's only seen the 2 Corsairs, and once again we have Dark Archon, so we could have, once again, Hero get caught, but he hasn't used that gas just yet. We do have Robo.
By the way, there is one downside for Bisu here, is that he stay a long time on only one base.
Yeah.
So his main is going to get dry pretty fast.
Yeah, he needs to take that mineral only and bottom middle pretty quickly. He did something similar on Deja Vu where he took top middle, you know, as his 3rd, and then like shortly after that ended up taking bottom right, but the game was already over by then. Hero, there we go. That's where all the gas is going. It's going into mass lurkers, 10 of them in fact.
Yeah, he just saw the Archon, so I guess he's not going to commit to Mutas this time. But on top of that, he only has 3 gases, right? So he took a mineral only. so he doesn't have a 4 gas.
Yeah, 1-1-1. You don't see that often in PvZ. But he's going to have some really strong, tanky units as Zerg moves across the map. Bisu, yes, he's going to get this third base up and running, but there's no gas for him. It's just a mineral only.
You're so right about that. I don't think I ever seen 1-1-1. That is so random.
I think we may see like a change in how Protoss get upgrades later. Like, I realize plasma shields are clearly the worst, but like in this particular game, it was clearly the best choice. You had the double forge anyways. You didn't have the Templar archive, so you might as well just get plasma shields instead of +2 weapon, for example. But I think we may see more plasma shield upgrades in the future because they help for cannons and buildings later on. So we'll see. Either way, both players just powering for now. What is it, 9 hatch for Zerg at this point? I mean, he's got crazy econ. He's got double evolution chamber himself, so his upgrades, even though they were later, should be coming online pretty soon.
And Bisu is just like gas starving so bad.
Yeah, he really needs another base. He really needs bottom middle or mid right, and that's where he's going.
He's gonna do it.
Okay, mid right is going to be the base. High ground here.
Yeah, there is no way you can attack this position at all. But now you're trapping this army.
Yeah, you're trapping the army, and also you're saying that, okay, you can't defend the third base anymore unless you're going to go through my lurker field. So this is really bad. Unless you land storms like that, then it's fine. But it's only fine if there's more Templars.
Oh no.
So many lurkers. Yeah, Bisu doesn't know what to do. He's going to counter. But no, he's not. He's still hesitating. He's just going to lose the base.
That is his only choice anyway. Well, never mind. Maybe he just like defended the new gas. Maybe.
Well, yeah, he's gonna take mid right and use that as his third base. But he really needed to have 2 bases because his main's mined out. Is about to be mined out. I can see that there's not that many probes there anymore.
I mean, again, there is so much missing in this game. Like, for example, a Protoss should be at this stage of the game on 180, and he's in 140, and Hero is the one on 180. So, yeah.
Well, he goes to attack there, and guess what? That means he can't be on the high ground. So Hero immediately counters.
Nice storm.
Yeah, those are great storms. Hits like 15 Hydras there. And even though that's an amazing storm, it's still not enough. It's still a massive lead. There's finally the Queen's Nest to start going into Hive, but look at how much stuff Zerg has.
Yeah, but so far he's defending that tier. Oh, maybe not anymore.
Uh-oh.
What? Why he gave up at that position?
I don't know why he left that position. There was nothing to break. And now he let Zerg have high ground. I haven't seen a single Maelstrom either, have you?
No. I don't even see the Darkon.
Oh, I think Hero's pretty much done it. He's pincered this army. This army's either gonna die or the third base is gonna die, or both are gonna happen. So Bisu, that's a Maelstrom there, but he just doesn't have enough stuff.
No,
he's trading well.
Most of the workers. He loses most of the workers at the tier expansion as well.
There's another good Maelstrom, but it's just endless amounts of Hydras. The Hydras have broken through, killing all the probes, gonna kill the Nexus. And he's given up on it. And now he's gonna counter, but it's way too late now.
There are 5 bases there, Nyoken, and there is like what, 1 mining base for Protoss?
Yeah. No lurker, so I mean he can win battles, but okay, no, he can't. He definitely cannot. That is almost a 360 surround of Hydras, goon soup, as everything dies. And that means that Hero, along with Barracks, is going to make it out in Group B. So we've got 2 Zergs, 2 Terrans into the round of 16.
EG, man. Hero knows for sure how to play CVP. And
Definitely does.
Bisu, he had a brain fart at the beginning. he just let these 6 Zerglings get in. Why? My question is why he let that happen.
That was definitely a huge mistake. I think after they got in, I think he managed it really well. Like he transitioned well, but it just did so much damage. He picked off like 4 zealots basically for free. He kept finding them, able to pick them off. He picked off a couple of probes. Protoss didn't have any intel onto what Zerg was doing, so he had to be very cautious. The Nexus was very late. I think Hero's follow-up was also really good, just going into the mass hatcheries, getting huge econ. But this one, well, the move right before this was the real game changer. I still don't know why did he take mid right. If he had taken bottom middle, I don't think Zerg can. Well, can Zerg make this move? Like the problem here was he cut off reinforcements. You know what I mean? If he takes bottom middle, at least he can defend both bases. I think. I don't know. It's just so much Zerg. Look at the probe count. It's only 36.
It's pretty low. Even before like losing then, it was pretty low. I didn't realize that.
This is also after he killed the third base, so maybe he had like 50 or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. Yeah. No,
So,
he lost the workers at the mineral only. That is true.
yeah, at the middle only. And then we got the juicy shot right here. See ya. Gets like 4 or 5 more.
Let's say Bisu delayed his Nexus at the natural so long.
Well, like we were saying, he kind of had to because he didn't know what it was. Like, Hero was Ling all-inning until I guess he realized there were enough probes and zealots at the entrance to defend, and then he just started making drones.
I don't understand why he gave up the high ground, by the way. That didn't make any sense to me.
Well, yeah, at least the Dark Archon should be sitting there because at least you can freeze the units. But yeah,
I'm pretty
obviously
sure
letting
that
that
these
go.
Protoss players they are not used to use the Archon. So they are like, oh, I'm making this to hold the mutas, and then they don't see mutas and don't use the Dark Archon. My God.
Well, also the way those units were getting clumped up, if you noticed at mid right, like units were bugging out even just trying to go up the ramp. Like I constantly saw units bouncing off of each other. So I mean that could have been partially the issue. Like maybe he did actually move command up there or attack move and just stuff wasn't going. Like I don't know, it was very clogged up there, like just tons of stuff bottlenecked.
And again, who was doubting that Hero will be in the semis again?
Was it me?
No,
No, it's not
just
me.
no, just saying. Like for a second, it was looking like, yeah,
Oh
he's
yeah.
getting eliminated, right? But I mean, this guy can lose.
Yeah, he doesn't lose. Like he's just destined to always make it far. So he does avoid a catastrophe here. It did look like he could potentially be knocked out after the first game versus Barracks. I was like, whoa, is this really what's going to happen to our like, permanent semifinalist here?
Man, this guy is insane. But
This
sadly for us, well, sadly for Protoss players, Protoss fans, Bisu fans, Bisu, man, another season that he didn't really deliver, man. Honestly, I was expecting a bit more from him this season. I was looking at his games, and he was looking really solid. And to me, if you look at the game too, he was looking extremely solid. It's just unfortunate this game, man. He just let this. It's not even about the skill Nyoken. It's just like it's something that you don't even practice for this. It's just something that happens in the moment. It's like decision making. It's just like a microsecond decision that just failed him. You know.
Yeah, definitely. And I also had expectations for Bisu too. I had read that people were saying Bisu was really in good shape, and with him being eliminated, I realize we do have a Protoss group in Group C, and we do have one Protoss in Group D. But like, let's say the one Terran gets out of Group C. That means we're only gonna get one Protoss out of Group C, and then potentially we get no Protosses out of Group D, which means we could have a situation like we did last season where there's only 2 Zergs, but this time it's kind of flipped. We have only one Protoss or only 2 Protoss.
So it's like two Terrans, two Ser players.
Yeah, no Protoss yet. We need Group C to figure out if we're gonna have more than, one.
But it's still good. It's still good for them. The big issue here, Nyoken, is the Terra, man, and these maps. They are insane. I'm telling you, man. Next year, I really hope this season is win by a Terra, so we can relax a bit with the map pool. Because right now I can't even enjoy the playing ladder.
I think like every season, aren't all the maps good for Terran? General.
To be fair, Nyoken, with you, this is something I really like think about so many times. Is that 2 seasons ago we have the great map pool with Tempest and Apocalypse. So many great maps, by the way. So many fun games. Like the maps were like so enjoyable to play. But then it only lasts 1 season, man. They don't really repeat these maps anymore. They are used on ladder like few months and then they gone. And we are never getting like these good maps again. We just trying these like crazy maps or whatever. And the good maps are just like waste like that for a few months and that's it.
Now that you mention it, it could be interesting if they had 2 seasons with the same maps, because then you could see like, okay, this is what people realized in the first season, like the first 3 or 4 months that they played this map, and then when you get the second season, they've played it for 6, 7 months, 8 months, something like that, and you can see the evolution there. Did anything change? Maybe nothing changed, right? Maybe we have the same breakdown of races, right? But at least you would potentially get to see, uh, some innovation on these maps.
I'm not really sure about that because if I have to play these maps for 2 more seasons, I'm probably going to start playing World of Warcraft. I never played that game in my life, but I will like consider that. But I'm for like coming back with the good maps for a new season, like they did with that origin. By the way, that origin made it too many seasons, new dates. The map was great. I understand the cycle. Now it's gone. It's okay. But there were like maps in the past, man, that they probably deserve to be played more, and they are just gone after 1 season.
I think people have their own opinions on what is a good map. I agree Dark Origin was a good one, but some people would say not so great. We're getting a rundown of how today went. Barracks shocked the world, taking down Hero and Bisu. Didn't lose a single game. Bisu took down Jaedong, and then Hero unfortunately eliminated Jaedong, and then Hero coming back once again to take down Bisu gets him out into the round of 8. And I'm sure we're going to get a look at our Group C and Group D groups in just a moment. There it is. So, it's not Royal in Group C, it's Speed. So, Snow, Speed, Rain, and Mini. This is going to be really hard for Speed. Speed's good, but Snow blasted him last season. Made him look like he didn't even know how to play Terran. Like, that's how dominant it was. And then, of course, Mini's always very dangerous. The sleeper in the group, uh, my opinion, is Rain. Even though I think Rain is very good, he doesn't play as much, but his PvP is immaculate, legitimately like a 90% win rate. Then Group D is also going to be interesting. All these players, all the Terran players, are really good TVT, especially Sharp, in my opinion. And he had a good performance last season, so he could go to the round of 8 again. And Team Liquid has been saying Stork has been on point, and Stork is obviously a legend in PvT, but he's going to have some legendary play because all of these Terrans are really freaking good versus Protoss.
I have a theory. I think Stork Nyoken is an onliner player.
Really?
Yeah, I think each time I have seen it so many times already, but I'm pretty sure like I have seen each time Jaedong and Stork they face offline. You actually think like, oh wow, why Stork is still playing StarCraft? But then do you see them play online and Stork smash Jaedong so bad? So yeah, I think Stork actually doesn't perform the best offline.
Okay, well, something to keep in mind, I guess, when we review or rewatch Group D. We were talking about Royal here. I think Royal can play some volatile builds in Terran versus Zerg in particular, but I don't think he's going to play really like anything crazy in Terran versus Terran. So I actually think this is a really good group for him. Light, you know, not much to say there. I mean, he's amazing versus Protoss, so I think him versus Stork will be fine. The question to me is just who's going to be on point in the TVT really. And like I said, Sharp has been playing really well. I cast him in the StarCast tournaments, and lately he's been playing quite well. So actually like his odds quite a bit.
Last
Do you have
season
any
he
predictions?
yeah, for Group C I have a Snow and Mini advancing. And for Group D I have a Light and Royal.
Light and Royal, okay. I have a feeling that Light's going to be upset there. I think actually I'm going to go with Sharp and I'm going to go with Royal. I don't know what it is,
Really?
but Sharp has been playing like really well with like his Vulture movement and stuff. And I think if Stork plays carriers, he might get exploited by that type of play. And I know how good Sharp's Terran versus Terran is. Like, it's really good. So I have a feeling if he has a good day, he could be the one. And then Royal, um, he's just got really good multitask, and you need to have really good multitask in TVT, like unit positioning and stuff like that. And I have a feeling that he'll deliver, hopefully.
It's possible, but well, so that means that for you, like Light is not really the best Terran anymore.
I like Light, but like you're saying, with Stork not delivering offline, I realize Light has won ASL. Like, I know that. But a lot of seasons he just bombs out in the round of 16. It's kind of like Best. Like when I watch Best, I'm like, wow, this guy's really good. He could go really far in a tournament, and he did well last season, right? I think he's been making round of 8 consistently, but then there are some seasons where he just loses in the round of 24, and I'm like, what happened? That's kind of I get the same kind of feeling when I watch Light. He's either really on or he's really off.
Who is your top three Terran right now?
Well, if we're just looking at online play, I would say Light is probably number one, and then I would probably go Rush number two or JYJ number two. So it would be those three: Light, Rush, and JYJ. I really like JYJ just because of how he optimizes.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't really like consider Light to be flopping on
I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
offline.
Maybe I'm wrong. I guess I could go check Liquipedia and look at his results, but I'll do that after we wrap up, as today is over. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will shout out, if you do enjoy the content, we do have our StarCastTV Patreon, so definitely consider becoming a Patreon supporter, or just slam that like button on YouTube. And that's it. I will see you next week with Group C and Group D.
Thanks for watching, guys.